所有的老师、同学们，欢迎今天出席今天的 Hackathon 的 workshop 第二场。那今天是由我们的拉曼大学的 Dr. Goh 帮我们讲解，就是 AgriTech Essential。那明天还有一场是早上的部分，所以欢迎所有的同学。明天早上是9点到12点半。那我就把我们的呃交给我们的 Dr. Go。
好的谢谢主持人呀谢谢这个 organization AANTUM 举办这一个活动，那么这个 talk 是应该在用英文的是吗？然后想知道
是是是。
对想知道在座的同学们如果是全英文的话，会有什么难题吗？都应该没有是吧？
没有没有没有难题了，之前都
他们应该听得懂
是用
吧？啊。
用英文的。
OK，好的，好的，好
是
的，OK，那我就用英文，但是间中可能我会穿插一些中文呐。那么如果在座的同学有一些疑问，然后可能用英文发问可能没有这么顺利，可以用中文都可以啊。OK，好，那么主持人我就开始啦，可以吗？还
，OK。
是还需要再等一些同学吗？
不用了
不用了
这个可
，OK，
以开始，
好的。
我们有 recording 前。
OK，好的，好的，谢谢。OK，那我就开始啦。OK，好我会关掉我的 camera，so that 那个 PowerPoint 会走的比较顺啊。OK，所以让我share screen。OK，好的，可以看到吗？
可以。
可以呀。OK，Alright. So good evening to all students. I hope you have a great day today. Okay, hold on. I need to do some setting. Okay, just to make sure everything is in place. Okay, that's fine. So I will start. So today I'm going to do a sharing with you on agri-tech. Right. The word agri-tech actually consists of two parts. One is agriculture. One is technology. Okay. So mainly share on the fundamentals. I can't share everything lah. 3 hours not enough lah. Okay. If I want to share everything, that has to be 5 days lah. Okay. Right. So we have only 3 hours. And then I'm going to share with you some of the fundamentals that you need to know. Okay. And also, how are we going to apply the technology, all right, into the solution, especially to your proposal, because you're going to submit a proposal for your competition, right? So it's will be very, very challenging. Okay, right. I hope this is a two-way communication. Don't just let me just talk in front, because you know lah, if I just keep talking, it's like talking to a ghost like that. Okay, right? It's not interesting lah. So I will need some feedback time to time because this is a workshop. All right, and then there are some questions that I may ask you somewhere in the middle, and I may give you some small work that for you to do. Okay, so that at least you learn something lah, rather than just one way of listening. Okay, sounds good. Okay, great. So let's start, All right. First of all, I think we need to understand what is so-called agriculture. Okay, right. To be honest here, how many of you here have experience in planting? Got it? You can type in chat box. I still can see chat box, right? Okay. Any of you have experience in planting? Either you plant cactus or you plant maybe not flowers, or you grow fish. That's still called agriculture. Got it? You're very shy. Got it? You experience, Okay, all right. So let's see the definition here. Okay, when we talk about agriculture, actually that cover four major parts lah. That cover four major parts. The first part we call crops. Okay, crop or crops, all right. We call crops. That is in 中文 we call 植物. Okay, all right. The second category we call livestock. Okay, many animals right? Many animals. Okay, all right. Chicken. Okay, you can call maybe these those animals All right. And then the next one we call aquaculture. Okay, mainly is those animals in the water. Okay, all right. fish, right? All this type, prawns, okay? All right. I don't mean those monitor lizard, okay? That is not really aquaculture. That's wildlife, okay? All right. So that means we grow them, okay, for food purpose, lah. Okay. All right. Now there's a last type we call forestry. Okay, that means you no need to uh, plant usually, then you can get it from the forest. Of course, for commercial purpose, you plant it. Example, bees. Okay, right? You want honey. Okay, so last time you used to just go to forest and take it, but now maybe you do it in a commercial way. Okay, you start to grow. You have your own bees farm. Okay, so these are the four major categories lah that is under the so-called agriculture. Okay, now for your proposal, for your competition this round, you need to focus on crops, okay? So don't do for livestock, don't do for aquaculture, don't do for forestry, because if you focus on these three, that will be considered out of topic. Then your proposal will be considered finished already lah. Okay, all right. So focus, okay. So your main focus is crops. Okay, all right, crops, okay. Now let's go further, all right. So when we talk about crops, what are the category inside crops or so-called plants? Is it okay? Plants. Okay, yeah. So there are different way of grouping lah, but I'll group it in these 6 categories. Okay, I group this in these 6 categories lah. The first category we call herbs or vegetables. Okay, 草本或者是蔬菜类的。Okay, that means those are usually are leafy， 通常是叶子型的 leafy type. Okay, all right. So I know, I mean, you understand why it's so called vegetables, okay? All right. Later I have a photo to show you lah. The other one we call shrubs or flowers. Okay, 我们叫灌木或者是花卉. That means those got flowers, and some okay, you may think flowers maybe the stem 那个枝可能比较软, but there are some are very strong like hibiscus 大红花. Okay, and it can grow very tall one. Okay, all right. So in that case, it may fall another category called trees. Okay, we call it 木本. Okay, trees very obvious lah. Oil palm, durian, those are very obvious trees. But if I have flowers like hibiscus, grow so big, so fat and tall, will it consider as trees? The answer is no, because there's a border between strips of so-called flowers and trees. Okay, if your flower is growing very high, there's a definition. They call it woodly plants. If you see the bottom here, there's a woodly plant less than 13 feet tall. Okay, now we don't use feet lah. Now we use meter. So it's around 3.96. You can say 4 meter lah, So 4 meter that usually have multiple stems. Like flowers, usually they have a multiple stems. Okay, 它有很多分支的. Those are called flowers lah, or so-called shrubs. Okay, right. Those that can go higher than 13 feet, so-called 4 meter and even taller, that is usually called trees. Okay, like durian, you go one main one. You may have branches lah, okay, but the main one will go very tall. Okay, so those are called trees. Okay, so student can well understand, okay, all right. So chili fall under which category? Good question. Okay, I'll answer that later. Okay, so let me go for the first. Okay, the other one we call creepers lah. Okay. There may be also a confusion between creepers and also climbers. Okay, now creepers usually they don't go up. They go horizontal. Is it okay? Go horizontal. Like melons, potatoes. Okay, they go horizontal. Okay, right, kangkong, all these things. Okay, like they but kangkong is under vegetables, but I mean the way it's growing is kind of like creepers. Okay, so in Mandarin 有点难读they call it what 匍匐. Okay, so these are considered type of creepers. And now it's called climbers. Climbers usually climb up. Okay, it grab something and it go up, grab something, it go up lah. Climbers may climb lah. Okay, like cucumbers. Okay, another one like called what was that? Those are like grapes. Okay, those are going up one, can go up one. Okay, right. Of course, there's nothing there. You also go like creepers lah. You go on the ground lah. That one no choice lah. But usually, given a choice, it will go up. You choose to go up. Okay, right. Then another one we call it water plant. Water plant means those grow, or above water, okay? Or maybe underwater also can, okay? Those are, we call it water plants, okay? Like watercress, okay? Uh, let us know. Let us, although you say, oh, now we have something called 水耕菜. That one, no. That one not really water plant. That one is because you plant it in hydroponics, okay? Right? But by nature itself, this plant actually is considered vegetables, okay? Like those lotus, okay? Those are already a water plant, watercress, right? So those are considered as those are water plants, okay? Because it by nature is already growing with, or maybe with water, and then grow on top or something like that. Okay, all right. So these are the 6 categories lah. Of course, there are some like let's say we call chili. Okay, chili where to put? Chili got flower, got flower, but chili considered vegetables. Something not, because fruits like tomato, okay, those are called fruits. Okay, of course they have called fruits lah. So it is either fall under flowers or trees lah. So it should be under category of fruits lah, flowers lah, if you talk about chili. Then mushroom also plants, right? Plants. The where should we put okay? Is more associating close to vegetables, herbs type lah. Or mushroom, herbs, vegetables somewhere around this type. Okay. All right. So these are just 6 major categories lah. But of course, there are some very, very in between, okay, or many gray area kind of lah. Okay. All right. But as long as it's a plants like tomatoes, chili, right? Those are considered as under category of plants or crops. Okay, am I clear, or am I make you confused? Capsicum, okay, yeah. Bitter gourd should be苦瓜. 苦瓜 is like cucumber type. Yes, yeah. Those are fruits. Yes, you're right. Those are fruits. But I mean the way I categorize here is the growing method. Okay, so like cucumbers, bitter gourds, those are considered as climbers. They climb. Okay, capsicum. Let me think. Capsicum, where, okay, either it's like chili, right? Yeah, it should be under flowers type lah. Okay, all right, should be under flowers type. If it's climbing, then you'll be under climbers. Okay, if it doesn't climb, then it should be creepers. Okay, but either way, I mean they are still plants. Okay, yeah, you want to plant capsicum in your proposal, can, no problem. Okay, go ahead. In fact, capsicum actually good money lah, good value. Okay, clear? Okay, so those are the categories lah. Okay, those are categories. Okay, there are some is a bit gray area one. Okay, you may give me something very odd. Okay, example, you ask me strawberries. Okay, strawberry, how? Strawberry actually is kind of like herbs type. It's like a vegetable type. It don't grow. It don't have a stem. Go up one. Okay, all right. Those are okay. Strawberry okay, because I know your question got Cameron Highlands. You were thinking Cameron Highlands strawberry lah. Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, in your proposal, you know, need to purposely say, oh, my plant will belong to trees or herbs. No need. Okay. Right? As long as commonly we understand this is crop or plants is acceptable. Okay, clear? Clear? You don't need to purposely say that you must categorize in one of these. No, because sometimes there could be a gray area. Okay, like a gray area. All right. Okay. Can we somehow generalize into groups? Well, groups. When you say groups means what? If you talk about this, agriculture will be under these 4 groups. As long as yours one is under crops, it's fine. Okay, make sure whatever that you want to plant is not livestock, animal lah. Okay, it's not really aquaculture. I mean, not fish, prawns, okay, crabs, okay, not those from forests, okay, like those how to say not to say wrong lah. Example, I want to grow ginseng, can or not? Actually can. But ginseng usually we get it from forests lah. Okay, like, but not those like bird nest, okay, yanwo, all this type lah. Okay, all right. It should be under plants. If you say ginseng, okay, it was foresty, but actually it's actually a plants you can plant. Okay, if you think you want to go ginseng, go ahead. Okay, no one block you. Okay, right. Based on specific categories. Okay, there are many ways of categorization. Again, I just based on the growing methods to group into these 6 groups. Okay, all right. If you check Google, there are other way of they grouping the plants. Okay, it's not wrong. Either way is not wrong. Okay, all right. Can, okay. But make sure whatever that you want to put in proposal is plants. It has to be plants. Okay, all right. Okay, clear? All right, let's go. Okay, now I have some pictures to show you lah, in case you confused lah, or in case I make you confused. Okay, all right. Herbs and vegetables usually looks like this type lah. Okay, usually they are on the ground. Okay, of course, if you want to plant in modern way, later we discuss lah. Okay, those are flowers. Okay, all right, and trees. Tree usually you have a stem lah that go up. So melons will be under creepers. Climbers will be this type usually. You go up, you can climb up. Oh, why climb? Because it needs sunlight lah. That's why you go up. Okay, right. It may go flat, like melons, it go flat because it expand the width lah. All right. And water plants, usually those with associating with water. It needs water to grow. Okay, right, lotus lah, all this type. Okay, can. Now, when we talk about crops or plant, okay, you may start to think, in my proposal, you may just say plant easy lor, I invest 5,000, I get 10,000 lor, that one not practical actually. That one is not to say generalized, too surface to me. Okay, right now, but when you shape your proposal, you need to take care of and I give you a guide. There will be 6 major elements that you have to answer first. Okay, no matter what plants that you want, you need to take care of these 6 items because those are the basic needs of a crop. Okay, right. So let's see. First one, it needs air. Okay, it needs air. Okay, that no air, then I mean every living thing also die lah. Plants also a living thing. It will die. It needs air. Okay, right. Now for outdoor, if you're planting outdoor, the air you cannot control lah. Basically, it's just outdoor. What you want to control? Okay, all right. You just need to make sure your area planting is not too near to those heavy industrial area. That's the only way you can avoid. Okay, or it's not polluted. Okay, then if you're talking about your planting in indoor, then you take care of the air circulation. Okay, whether your ventilation is good or not, whether you're going to have enough CO2 oxygen going in to your indoor space. That one is a critical concern. You have to highlight your proposal. Okay, right. The second we talk about lighting. Okay, right, lights. So plants needs lights to do what? Photosynthesis lah. Okay, right. So it needs a light. No light, then sorry lah. Okay, right. Maybe mushroom no need lah. But mushroom also need a little bit of light lah. Okay, all right. Now, if you talk about light, if you're talking about outdoor, basically you cannot control lah. You can say now I want to have sun come out. Cannot. Weather is not something that you controllable. Okay, all right. Now, unless you do it in greenhouse or indoor, then light is a concern because you may not have a good lighting. Okay, then what you should do? Okay, we discuss more about that. Then we talk about space. All right. So how far apart you can plant? You cannot just say that, okay, I'm going to use my land. Okay, let's say in your proposal say, I just buy 1 meter times 1 meter square of land. I'm going to plant 100 trees of durian trees in this space. Practically, this is not right, lah. Okay, right? So your space not to say not practical enough, lah. Okay, right? So that's why you need to somehow be aware practically that a plant usually ideally will go how big and usually what are the ideal space, because if you put or you pack all the plants together, they'll compete the nutrients, they'll compete for natural resources, and they'll kill each other. Yeah, they kill each other. Like human same one. Okay, you give them a constraint. Okay, let's say you quarantine 10 people in a small island and then just give a little bit of food, then they have to quarrel and fight, no choice. Okay, so plants will have this kind of issue. So when you put in proposal, you need to be very practically tell how big is your area and how many plants you plant there. What is your plant to plant far apart? That actually is a consideration. Okay, all right. Now next thing, it needs temperature, warmth. Okay, right? It needs temperature. Some plants like cold weather. Some plants like hot weather. Okay, those plants in cold weather, you move to the hot weather, they usually die. They don't grow well. Okay, and some it may still grow, but you won't reach the optimum growing. Okay, now again, if this is outdoor, nothing much can be done. You just need to choose the right place. Example, you're given Cameron Highland. Example, can I plant let's say, can I plant durian in Cameron Highland? Basically cannot, but it's not going to grow well. It may still growing, but it don't grow well. Okay, because some are the plants they need warm or so-called slightly hot weather. Okay, those on the cold one, you move it down to lowland and make it very hot environment. Usually they don't go well. They usually may die. Okay, all right. So temperature is the one. Usually we use temperature. Scientifically, we use temperature to measure. Okay, now if this is greenhouse or indoor, then this will be a very critical. You need to have monitoring to monitor that. Okay, if you are writing a proposal, you say you indoor, you never monitor temperature, then sorry, I have to keep out your proposal. No choice. Okay, all right. Now, next thing is water. Okay, every kind of living things need water. Okay, all right. Water is a source. Outdoor, sometimes you need to see whether there are some areas they may not have enough water. Okay, so geographically, you also need to check what is the weather condition there. What is the rainfall in example, quantifying whether naturally there is enough water. If there's enough water, then good. You don't need to do much on your proposal on the water. But it's not enough. You need to think of way that how I'm going to establish the irrigation system. I need to pull water, 灌溉系统. Okay, alright. Now, lastly, nutrient. Okay, now, outdoor, you may think that just throw the seed and it grow. Ideally, this is correct. Okay. But today, if you talk about a good, how to say, not to say good, you want to optimize your production, your outcome. You cannot just throw a seed and just say, then let's see how long. No way, okay? All right. So you need to do something. Okay. You need to add sufficient nutrient. Okay, we are going to quantify nutrients. Okay, right. Of course, we talk about macro and micronutrients now. Okay, so whenever any plants, okay, first when you are given location, right? I think you are given 3 locations, right? So first you see the geographical area of these 3 locations first. Okay, what are the soil there? What are the temperature there? What are the rainfall there? Right? Then you need to get an idea, okay, of that geographical these information first. Then only you decide, should I go outdoor, should I go indoor, or should I build a greenhouse there? Okay, right. We're going to discuss further. Okay, right. Always go to back to these 6. Okay, right. Of course, outdoor you still have 2 more pest and disease, because you cannot control. Okay, those pets will just come. Monkey, rats, birds, okay, they'll just come. Okay, how I'm going to prevent this. Okay, and disease. Okay, especially those airborne one, very scary. They from air. How can you block? Cannot block. Okay, all right. Especially fungus, very scary one, airborne. Okay, and also weeds. Outdoor one, you have weeds issue. Okay, because those seeds are very strong. They fly where and they grow where. Okay, right. So outdoor one, you need to consider, I would say 8 items. Indoor one easier because pets, disease, and weeds usually you can consider, I would say 80-90% is controllable. Then you focus on these 6. Okay, clear? All right. So let's go for the. Okay, so like what I said, that you can choose to plant outdoor, indoor, or greenhouse. Okay, we're going to see what are the advantage and disadvantage if you go outdoor, indoor, and greenhouse. Okay, right now, but basically, there are some plants you have no choice, you cannot go indoor one. Example, I want to plant durian indoor, can or not? Not to say cannot. You need to think, this durian tree can go how high, and how tall is the building they want to build. Okay, you're not going to build a super condominium just to plant tree inside. Can I mean, futuristic is possible, but whether, I mean, in terms of return on investment, because to your proposal, you need to also count the investment value, right? Whether it's worth to invest or not. Okay, right. So these are things that you need to consider right. Then there are a few planting modes. Okay, all right. Now conventionally we use soil, 泥土. Okay, we use soil. Now of course soil still have few types. What kind of soil? Okay, right, that you need. Okay, so there are A type, B type, C type, D type, whatsoever. There are many types of soil. Okay, what is the combination of soil? And some they may not use soil, they use something else like rice husk. We call it 泥坑. Okay, right, those are also possible. Okay, some they maybe go for soil, but they plant in something called polybag. May not be on the ground. Okay, so when talk about conditional soil base, it can be on the ground, it can be on polybag. Okay, it can be also indoor. Possible, possible. Later I'll show you some. Okay, like meaning indoor do hydroponic lah. What for do soil base? There are some reason. Okay, right. Now next one we talk about hydroponics. Hydroponics means water. Okay, 水耕. Now water usually you have a limit because not all plants can be soaked in the water. Their root maybe will get rotten. Okay, right. Example, ginger. You cannot say I use hydroponic ginger. Ginger, kankes lah. Okay, rotten already lah. Okay, right. So there's a limited plants that you can grow through hydroponics, but it may be effective for some plants. That's why you have to see your situation. Okay, aeroponics and hydroponics is a bit different. Hydroponics usually the root will go down, soak on the water. The aeroponics, no, aeroponics actually you spray mist at the root. Later I have a picture for you, then you know better. Now you hear about the terminologies first. Okay, that's called aeroponics, right? Later I have photos show you. Now, vertical farming. Vertical farming means you stack. Okay, you go layer by layer. You have a rack and you stack. How many stories you can stack? It depends on your design. Okay, there's no standard say that it must be 3-story, 4-story, 5-story, 10-story, 19-story. No. Okay. You need to count. First you need to when you do this vertical farming, you need to see whether whether you soil base or hydroponics or whatsoever, then how heavy and how much material you need to use to build your frame, okay, to stack your plant there. Okay, then only you can do vertical farming. Now, vertical farming usually is to solve land issue. Your land is too expensive. Okay, you cannot buy a huge land. You have a limited land, and that's why you have to go vertical. No choice. But if your land is so cheap, then no point lah. You go vertical for what? Okay. So you're given 3 areas, right? In your proposal, I think the Cameron Highlands, these are Pontian. Pontian is Johor, right? Then the other one is Batang Berjutai lah. The new name is called these are Bestari Jaya. Bestari Jaya. So you need to check the land, how costly is the land there. Okay, per square feet lah, but usually it's per square feet. Okay, because you given the money, right? You'll be given like I think 10 million, something like that. Okay, so I think the first thing before you plant, you need to buy land. You don't tell me you plant on the sky. My seed is floating. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Okay, right? So it has to be practical. Okay, you are the real master. Okay, don't talk about something virtual. We talk about something practical and business way. Okay, right. So luckily no KL lah. If KL, then you have to go vertical already because the land in KL so expensive. Okay, all right. Now, then another one is called aquaponics. Okay, this one is considered a hybrid between plants and animal. Okay, right? So I think it depends your situation. It depends how you justify your proposal. I think it's allowable, but whether your outcome or your production of your animal, so-called fish, also can be considered not. That one you will see how the panel going to judge you later. All right, so let me show you some photos. Now hydroponics, like what I say that usually you plant this way, you have a container or piping lah, right? Depends how you design it. Then you have your plant here. We usually don't use cotton we don't use soil. Okay, usually we use something like a fiber lah. This one I think is kind of like cocoa beads kind of things lah. All right, and then you let the seed. Sometimes you use cotton to grow the seed first. Only you transfer here, but sometimes you just let it put in some small sponge and let it grow. Then you grab those cocoa beads here, and then the root will go down. Okay, so you will start to absorb the nutrient from here, and as it's absorbed, then the nutrient or water will go lower lah. Of course, time to time you need to top up the nutrients. You need to measure and top up. Okay, I share with you lah. Basically, this one you need to measure something called it depends how expensive your sensor. You want a cheap sensor, usually you need to measure the ECPDS. Okay, the how many we call what how many dissolved material inside the water and also the electricity conductivity. We call it ECTDS. That's the value here. Okay. Because we do last time when I started also we plant vegetables, we follow the bottle say that this one you mix how many, you mix how many, you pour inside, but it doesn't go well. I mean, the plant is growing, but it's not grow well. Okay, at the end, we just say, no, don't follow the instructions. So we base on, again, a technical guy based on sensor. Okay, so we use sensor, we trust the IT, okay, the technology, okay, we trust the technology. So we use IT way to grow. We don't see the water, we don't care whatever that you write, okay. And our plant grew very, very well, very big, okay. All right, so that's why technology is very important, okay. Labeling sometimes just for reference, I would say. Okay, all right. So this is called hydroponics. Now, next one, aeroponics. Okay, aero is like this. Okay, you don't let the roots actually soak on the water. Usually no. Okay, there's you spray the mist. 那个水蒸气啊 ，OK， 水汽啦 ，OK， spray the mist, OK, right. So that the roots get moisture and also the nutrient also spray there. That's called aeroponics. Aeroponics doesn't mean that the what we there's one called what 你可以挖空气草啊，that type not really that type not really that type because I don't think vegetable can do that okay, right? So this is the right way that's defined. We call aeroponics. It's possible. Okay, I just show you the traditional way. Of course, there are many very modern way of they do aeroponics. Okay, the one you can always Google and check. Right, vertical farming, like what I say, you can stack. Okay, you can stack. Okay, it can be hydroponics plus vertical farming. It can be aeroponics plus vertical farming. It can be soil-based farming plus vertical farming. Vertical concept means you go high. Why you need to go high? First, you have a land issue. Okay, you don't have much land. The land is so expensive. I want to save budget. That's why I have to go vertical. But again, you need to calculate that your frame. Okay, how much you need to invest on the frame to do that. Okay, right. And vertical farming usually you have to add lighting already lah, because usually this is indoor and also greenhouse. Okay, right. You need to add lighting. Usually those bottom one don't have good lighting, then you need to solve the lighting issue. Okay, all right. And aquaponics is like this usually. That means you have animals and plants together. Like here, on top this is hydroponics, but at the bottom this is actually fish. You're growing fish. That means the fish the waste of the fish will go up as a nutrient for the plants. Okay, and then after that it go down, it get filtered, then it go back to the fish tank. Right. So this will be the cycle. Okay, all right. Good and bad. Okay. So the good thing is you get double production. Okay. But the bad thing is you need to maintain two systems. Okay, the hydroponic system for the plants and the system for the fish. If you're not carefully maintaining, you lost both systems because these two are integrated. Okay, you may end up plant also die, fish also die. Especially depends what fish. Some fish die, you know what happened? The ammonia go up lor. Ammonia go up, go to plants. Some plants actually very sensitive to ammonia, they die also. Okay, right. Right. So that's why it's not easy, okay? But of course, you have a way to maintain this system. That means you get double production. All right. So these are the definition. Okay, now golden question: is agriculture important or not? Some say important because it's my competition question. All right. It's important, okay? No matter you're rich people or poor people, you need to eat, am I right? Okay. You can't eat plastic lah. Okay, you have to eat food. Okay. So food come from where? Okay. So come from agriculture. Okay. So either animals or either plants. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So agriculture is very important. Okay, especially Malaysia. Okay. So Malaysia, our economy is deeply rooted at three primary sectors. First one, manufacturing. Okay, although we are not really heavy in manufacturing, yes, but manufacturing is one of our important sectors. Second one is services. Okay, services. Okay, services, sales, let's call services, teachers, services. Okay, all right, all right. Those provide services are called services. Okay, all right. Then another one is called agriculture. Okay, so these are the three primary sectors in Malaysia. Okay, that's why agriculture is important in Malaysia. Okay, all right. Now let's see statistics. Talking about GDP. Okay, So GDP always go up and now, go up and now, go up and now, but recently seems like a bit going down. Okay, all right. For agriculture, I'm talking about GDP of agriculture is talks about going down. There's some reason one, okay, because of the land. The land is getting. I talk about agriculture land. Agriculture is getting lesser. Okay, it's getting lesser because most of the land is used for what? Development. Am I right? More and more housing area coming out, more and more cities coming out, more and more theme park coming out, right? Agriculture land, how? Do we going to have more and more agriculture land? Cannot. Usually the agriculture land is go for where? Agriculture land actually is we're going to take from reserve land, right? We need to reserve land. We cannot open up whole country, open up all the land, then cannot lah. Flooding, whole Malaysia flooding cannot. Okay, we need to reserve some of the forests. Okay, there are some land we have to reserve. Okay, due to balancing of the ecosystem. Okay, agriculture land usually you see once the development land, housing land one agriculture turn to housing land, it's very difficult to turn the housing land back to agriculture land. Very difficult. Very difficult. Okay. Even for those landfill. Landfill. You know what's landfill? 垃圾场. So that one very hard one. That one can turn into development field, but there's no way turn to agriculture land. That's why we have issue, okay, with agriculture land. Okay, right. A few years back we already have this issue in Malaysia. Oh, so that's why agriculture land will get more and more expensive. If we're going to have new land, that means that actually is cut down from the forest land or maybe reserve land. Okay, that may not be good. Okay, all right. So that's why we can't control development. We can't control. Okay, but how are we optimize those land? This is the topic that why is in this round of competition. Okay, all right. Now, the value growth of output agriculture registered of annual growth of 11.1%, okay, to 91.2 billion. It's a big money, okay, agriculture, okay. This is statistics from 2023, all right. So, released on 2024, last year, they only released this data. That means agricultural sector actually play a good, okay, important, growth rate, all right. Okay, now, let's see. Talk about what kind of economic activities. Okay, we talk about agriculture. Okay, you can see here, the rubber actually is dropping a lot. Okay, no one want to plant rubber tree anymore. Still got some existing one due to some value they still keep. Oil palm is getting more and more converted for oil palm. Okay, and livestock, yes. Other agricultural land a bit lesser because I think running out of land. Forest also you see lesser. Fishing actually go bigger. Okay, right. So you can see overall. If you talk about all this in a pie chart this is 2022 right? You can see here mainly our land used for what? Oil palm. Yeah, we have a big oil palm. Rubber lesser. Forest here. And I'm talking about forest for agriculture, not the reserve forest okay, right? Fishing, okay, livestock and other others means example durian. I mean, those not oil palm considered as rubber those not oil palm considered as other agriculture. Okay, you talk about chili, pineapple, these pepper, all these are here other agriculture. Okay, actually you can see here the major source or the major contribution from agriculture is still the crops. It's still the crops. To be honest, you see here, it's crops. Okay, right. Now, this one you need to know because when you talk about large scale of agriculture, crops planting, don't tell me you are one person, you not hire people, you plant everything. 10 million you put there, you buy land and you plant one person. And you say, I buy robots, can or not? Okay. Somehow you still need to have some workers. Okay. All right. So those are the pay All right. This is according to 222 You can see roughly around, I think Malaysia also fixed there's a minimum wages that you have to pay. But talking about agriculture, we talk about skill workers not the Bangladesh this time. No, not the foreign worker. I'm talking about the local worker all right, skill worker right. So those are the range or the price, okay, that you have to pay for them per month. Okay, all right. Now, in terms of selected crops, let's say all the crops here. So the highest crops or the most popular crops in Malaysia. Okay. Of course, rubber still there. Oil palm definitely Oil palm, you can see the big ratio, you see, right? The big ratio, you see the production, the tons production. Okay. Cocoa, yes. Which are the state that plant a lot of cocoa? Students. Any idea? Any of you study geography? Or maybe your teacher mentioned to you, or maybe you're from that states. Do you have any idea? Hey, did Malaysia plant cocoa? You say no lah. Most of cocoa that I eat is from overseas, from Europe, Australia, Japan. Malaysia got cocoa meh? Got. From where? Any idea? They want to tell you lah. Okay. You Google yourself. Okay. Okay. So this is I think this is kind of herbs. Okay. All right. Then paddy. Okay. Definitely paddy. Okay. All right. Paddy. Then pepper. All right. Selected fruits. Certain fruits. Okay. Now we talk about durian. Okay. And selected vegetables. Okay. So those are the contributors. Okay, to the value or good production of this Malaysia. Okay, let's talk about this is SSR, self-sufficiency ratio. That means the crops that we plant, is it sufficient for us to consume? Or maybe not enough, we have to import. Okay, all right. Let's see. Too many. Suddenly I also okay. Like let's see here. Now you can see here. Okay. How you see this chart? Okay. First of all, 100% and above. That means we have enough, and we even can do export. Understand? Okay. The right side here, the 100% and above. That means 我们自己种，我们有多的还可以出口，如果要的话。Okay. You maybe not think you maybe not think actually we have. Okay, you can say, do we have tuna? Yes, we got tuna. Who say tuna is always export one? Okay, always import one. Okay, we have lah, but just we are not the big exporter lah. Right, you can see we have lettuce. Yes, we have lettuce, can export also if you want. Because mainly we are not it's mainly we are not consuming. We are not self-consume a lot of lettuce lah. Okay? We have other vegetables lah. That's why we eat kangkong more than lettuce. Okay, right. So durian. That's why durian can go out. Okay, we have eggs. Yeah, our eggs also can go out. Always spinach, cucumber, jackfruit, tomato. You see tomato. Malaysia can export tomato one. But not in the big volume lah. Alright, so some meat, papaya, sugarcane, watermelon, starfruit, sea bass. Oh, sea bass. Yeah, you may notice actually we have those, but we are not the major exporter lah. Right, so this means we have enough to consume, and even want to do export, we can. Okay, now this is another the left side, 50 to 99%. That means this one is not so enough lah. That means cukup makan, but need more. Okay. Right. You may notice rice actually, we are actually, I mean, although you know Malaysia are planting rice, but all the while we still have to import rice, either from our neighbor country, like Thailand, okay, Vietnam, okay, Cambodia as one example lah. So we still need to have 30%. That's why later I'll talk about that, why we need to grow rice, okay, paddy. All right, so sweet potato, you say, sweet potato we need lah. Yes, we're not enough. Okay. Okay. And Malaysia, actually, we like to eat a lot of sweet potato, you know. Okay, all right. So mackerel, yeah, the mackerel, of course. That's why in supermarket you see a lot of sardine yu. Okay, stingray, right? And pork also we have to import mangosteen. All these. You say, hey, mangosteen also. I mean, we are not eating a lot because we are not everyday eating mangosteen. That's why although it's not enough, but it's okay because we don't usually eat it daily. Okay, all right. So it's very interesting chart to see this. Okay, now the less than 50% is the one that we need to take care. Okay, like you see which one that we really tak cukup, really not enough one. Round cabbage. Okay, the what was that? 一粒一粒的那个菜 cabbage. Okay, so this one we not enough. Okay, mango not enough. You can say, oh, you have a lot of mango, but tak cukup. Malaysia like to eat mango. Chili, just now someone mentioned chili, right? That's why chili so expensive. But not easy to plant chili because chili has a lot of disease issue. Okay, right? I don't have example here lah, but chili is very challenging. Chili actually is good money, good profit, but the challenges is how you counter the disease. Okay, right? Okay, ginger. Later I have something to talk about ginger. We really not enough. Okay, all right. Beef, mutton. Okay, they are more, I believe lah. Right. So this is a very good overview chart that tells us what we have more, what we have enough, and what we have really not enough. Okay, all right. I hope this gives you a very broad view lah. Now, so since we understand the whole big picture about plants, about the whole economy, okay, agriculture economy in Malaysia. So let's talk about technology. Do we really need technology to help us in agriculture in Malaysia scenario? Do you think need or no need? Most of the time you think no need. I also think no need. Okay, right? First, we have plenty of land. Second, I think we have enough farmers. Okay, but third, I think well, we have a long history or tradition that doing this kind of tradition farming. I don't think we need technology, right? Am I right? Am I wrong? Hmm? If you think it's correct, then okay lah. I end the workshop. Okay, so second terima kasih. I can go back already. No lah. Okay, just some joke lah. Okay, yes. Okay, now we need technology. Okay, I tell you why. Okay, there are a few reasons why we need. Okay, right now let's understand in general first. Now, the previous farmer they no need because those are called traditional veteran farmers. They go through a lot of hard time already lah. Okay, when they start plant, I think they face a lot of problems. They bang a lot of walls. So that's why now they become veteran. They become experienced farmers. They don't need technology. To be honest, they don't need technology. Okay. My research area is I'm actually consider the researcher that working on technology in agriculture. A lot of time I talk to farmers. There are some farmers actually they don't welcome technology one. They tell me one thing. I eat salt more than you eat rice. Now you tell me this technology can use. Okay, right? That's what they tell me. Okay, right. So traditional veteran farmers, yes, they don't really believe or don't even need technologies because they think their way is so good. Yeah, because of their experience, that's why they're good. But today, you are the beginner. You think that even they tell you what to do, you try to plant and you think that you can have the outcome like them until it's wrong. Okay, so we are beginner farmer. Actually, we need technology because we don't have experience. Who give us experience? Right? Right? You can say Google lah, huh? You try Google method and see. Sometimes tak jalan also. Okay, right? Because plants are so localized. Okay, right? I mean, the way you plant in US, the plant you plant in Malaysia, very different one. Very different one. Okay, all right. So beginner farmers actually we don't have experience at all. That's why we need technology to help us. All right. Now next thing, if I'm the modern farmer, okay, I'm not the traditional kind of farmer. I'm modern farmer. Do I need technology? Yes, I even trust more on technology because technology can bring me great, even much better outcome. Example, okay, traditional farmer can give let's say 1.0 output. With technology, I can go 2.0, even 3.0 output, right? Where traditional farmer, even they are veteran, they may not able to do that. Okay, right? So that's why technology is very important. So when we combine agriculture and technology, that is called AgriTech. Okay, we use this word AgriTech. Okay, all right. Now, we have the environment, we have the technology, we have the human. So this actually form actually this is a very beautiful word. We call it nature, computer, and human world. That means we have the so-called the environment or the nature. They have their own world. Computer, we have our own computer world, right? We call it internet, huh? Then human, we have our own human world, right? But now human world all in mobile phone, huh? Today, one day you don't have mobile phone, you feel like you're gone. Right? Okay. You're gone not because you're gone, because you have no mobile phone, right? So that one already form a new human network. Okay. So we talk about nature, we need to connect nature. How? You talk to plant, hey plant, have you eating today? The plant won't, won't lion you. Okay. It won't entertain you. So you need something, or you need to have some signal from the plants, or you need to have some observation from the plant, translate into some computer signal so that you're understandable. Okay, so that one we need a help. The technology come in to help is called Internet of Things. Okay, yeah, IoT lah. Right. Second one is computer. How we link computer? Hmm? Internet ah. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm checking the chat box. Okay, right. So internet is the one that link computer to computers. Okay, but now even we have a better solution we call cloud solution. Okay, where back end we have a thousand of computers that link together and give her the resources. Okay, that is a computer world. Okay, right. Already very stable. The other one is we call human world. Okay, how human to human connect? Now we use mobile phone. Right? So last time we are very physical. Okay, right? But today, no lah, huh? So when today you are in downstairs, you want to call your family members come down to eat. What you do? You WhatsApp them. They come down from upstairs to downstairs. That's how we connect human today lah. Right? Mobile networks that connecting us. Okay, so these are the world that are connected right now. This is how nowadays the world will behave in this way, huh? Right. So there are three main technologies here: IoT, cloud, network and cloud, and so-called mobile networks, or you can call it mobile apps. Okay, all right. Now, the next thing you may ask, I don't see AI here. Where's AI? Do I need AI or not? Okay, right. Now, do I need to consider AI here? I'll say it depends. It depends. Okay, you may need to think that how I put AI in the proposal to convince the judges as my one is better. It is quite difficult to show at this moment, but you still can, as long as you have a way to justify that AI is needed for your scenario, and you can explain that how your AI play a good role to simulate, predict growth or whatsoever, then maybe your proposal worth to consider. Okay, but in overall, we talk about AI. Now, okay, we are not talking about something called ChatGPT, those kind of things. Okay, those are considered as generative AI. Those generate data only, cannot do anything. Okay, all right. Traditionally, we talk about traditional AI. Stage 2, we talk about generative AI. Now we're talking about third stage, we call agentic AI. This AI may be more useful. That means you have IoT come in, you put in AI, and then it can help you to monitor your farm. That one is more useful, agentic AI. Okay. Of course, the most advanced one, hopefully, in next 5 years' time, we talk about robots, so-called the physical AI. Okay. But AI, you need two things. First, the AI, even agentic or physical AI, you need to let them equip with sensors. That means they can see the world. Okay, so that is called IoT lah. The other one is you need a network. If you have robot that no network, also how are you going to control? How the robot feedback to you? No way. Okay, so you need to have these two to be mature lah, right? So in your proposal, if you talk about AI, okay, if you have AI, I don't see network, I don't see IoT, that means something go wrong. Okay, all right. Now let's talk about IoT. Now IoT is the you let the computer world to access to the outside world. Okay, first you need to have sensors, right? So how do I know my plant is okay, not okay? You see, I go there and look, then that is not technology already because you go there. Okay, so we talk about how technology can help you to monitor your plants. Imagine that you have 10 million, not a small money. Your field, some more you have three fields, one in Cameron, one is in Johor, one is in this Selangor. You have all over places, okay. Don't tell me you every day go and tour, okay? Right, that is not cost effective. Then you need to budget in your traveling cost already. Okay, all right. Now you need a sensor to be there. Okay, right. You need actors because sometimes, you think this plant is not enough water. I need to auto water it. Then you need actors. Okay, and lastly, all these sensor actor they don't have so-called brain. They don't have brain. They don't have processor power. You need processor power. Then you need an embedded device. Okay, embedded device, embedded platform Right. So we have quite many platforms that you can use. So the common one, we have Raspberry Pi, we have Arduino, we can use microbits. I think last week you all learned microbits, right, from Dr. So and Dr. Teo, right? Those are very good platforms that you can consider. So because from what I know, actually, when you pass through your proposal, then after that final stage, I think you need to develop some prototype. Okay. Right. So microbit is considered the easiest one to have the hands-on. I mean, I'm not sure whether you can use Raspberry or Arduino or not, okay? If you have some advanced features that you want to use, okay? But anyway, just as a knowledge that you need to have, with IoT, you need to have sensor, actor, and the platform. Okay, right. Now, just to let you see Raspberry Pi is something like this. It's like a palm size. Okay, not to say very big, not to say very small also, it's a palm size. This one is like your mini computer. It has CPU. Okay, maybe in the future you're going to have GPU. Okay, right? This is a 4 USB port for you to plug in mouse keyboard. There's an Ethernet cable. Inside got Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in. All right, so you can go to your monitor. There's a power. You can put SD card as a hard disk. Then these are GPL for you to interface with the sensor. Okay, so these are the Raspberry Pi. You can do quite advanced thing with it. You can do AI. They allow you to put AI. I mean, not the big AI, small AI. Okay, like maybe DeepSeek R1, all this stuff. And then you can even do image processing possible, right? All these are possible because it has a much powerful CPU. Okay, Arduino will be the conventional Arduino Uno, and also these two are also Arduino type lah. This one we call ESP8266. There's another one called ESP32. Okay, those are Arduino based. This one is default got one Wi-Fi. Okay, right. Of course, you have to use C lah. You have to use C. This one you can use Python, Java, high level one can, Node-RED, all these things, huh? Right. The other one is called Bluetooth. This one we call it Arduino Bluetooth. This one is Bluetooth type. This one very cheap. This one is like 18 ringgit to 25 ringgit can get already. This one very cheap platform. Okay, right. Microbits is the one that you all learned last week lah. These are microbits. Okay, all right. Those are device lah. Then okay, let's talk about parameters. Right. Okay, I drink some water. Any question that you want to ask so far until here? Okay, I'm not confusing you. Okay. Okay, let's talk about the parameters. Okay, so like what I say that always go down to these six. Always go to these six consideration. Okay, first one, we talk about air. What are the things that you need to monitor? Of course, air quality, whether enough CO2 or not. So these are the monitoring part that you need to monitor. Second one, if you talk about light, you need to measure, do we have enough of light? Okay, right? A simple one, maybe LDR sensor, that is sufficient already. Okay, it's very cheap. One piece is like 50 cents to maybe 1 ringgit, 50 cents, something like that. Okay, now, even a good one, there is a sensor called photosynthesis sensor. They are, okay? Okay, there's a this sensor I have in my lab, okay? But expensive, expensive. One piece is 100 over ringgit, okay? Right? Even 100 to 300 ringgit per sensor. That one is expensive. Okay, if you want to have the light, is it enough for certain kind of photosynthesis? Yes. Okay, you can have this kind of sensor. Okay, now space usually no, we're not going to use sensor because firstly usually we pre-calculate first. Okay, we don't usually say we sense or space not enough, then only we do something to adjust the space. Seldom we do that lah. I mean it's a bit rare lah. So we don't consider here. Yes, warmth, yes, temperature. Okay, usually temperature and humidity come together lah. Okay, so when you measure temperature, you also measure humidity. Okay, that is for warmth. Then after that, water, whether there's enough, whether there is a water, or if there is, then can I measure the quantify how high or how low is the water level, or is it the soil moisture, is it enough? Is enough the moisture that I want, or maybe too dry, or maybe not too wet? So these are considered water sensor. Okay. Then lastly is the nutrients. Now nutrients we go very wide range lah. Right. Simple one you can use easy TDS. Now some of you think pH. To me pH just tell you the acidicity. Okay, that means the whether is towards acidic or maybe towards alkaline. Unless your plant is very sensitive on pH, but usually pH may not give you much value or much idea lah, because soil pH you measure once, usually tomorrow you won't change unless you have some chemicals that you add on, or else it should be quite stable. The one that you need to know whether, let's say example hydroponics, I mix it with AB fertilizer. Later about IB later. I mix with certain liquid fertilizer, I pour it inside, and after that, is it enough? The next question you ask yourself, is it enough? How do I know? Okay, right. There's a way. We buy this easy TDS sensor. Not so expensive. I think it should be around 8 to 20 ringgit now that per piece. Then you can measure easy TDS. Okay, right? The electric conductivity and also the dissolve things that inside there. Okay, right. So that will give you a rough idea. Your liquid, is it enough concentration to certain thing? Okay, right. Of course, you want more advanced, we go NPK. If you talk about soil, there's an NPK sensor. One piece is around, that was very expensive. One piece is around 500 to 700 ringgit per piece. Consider quite cheap already. Last time used to be 1,400 to almost 2,000 ringgit per piece. NPK sensor. Yes, there is. Okay, right. You may use optical. When you say optical means what? RGB lah, your camera. You can use camera, but you need to do a lot of image processing behind okay, to analyze the soil. Okay, right. Now, those advanced one, very advanced one, okay, like they use a drone, okay, or maybe a airplane to capture the image and they do analysis on the soil. a big region. The one they use something called multispectral or hyperspectral camera. Very expensive. One camera may cost you millions. Okay, right? No joke. Okay, those are very, I would say, very advanced level lah. If you want to do until here, okay. I don't think Malaysia we got use these two technology, but before MCO I did went to New Zealand, okay, to involve in their this agriculture technology trip lah, okay. Yeah, I have a chance to visit one of the forestry department government department. Yeah, they show us how they captured using lidar and also hyperspectra. Very impressive, very impressive. But equipment very expensive. Okay, all right. Okay, now what are the other parameters, okay, that people will measure for plants? Okay, radiation, okay, right? If you care about whether your plants is polluted by radiation, yes, you can measure. But again, radiation sensor not so cheap. It's quite expensive. The cheapest one, the sensor is I think 600 ringgit plus and above. Okay, radiation sensor. Toxic sensor, there are certain toxic chemicals that you want to measure. Those again, those are customized one. Easy a few thousand ringgit. Okay, this kind of sensor. Heavy metal sensor. Heavy metal usually we do at the lab lah. We seldom do on the spot, but there are people also measure. I think basic level can measure lah. Those if you want to quantify until the level that lab level, you still have to bring the sample back to the lab and measure. Spore, okay, this one they use something called, if I'm not mistaken, it should be called PCA. Okay, they sample the what's that? The air, because the spore is come from the air, so they measure that how many they manage to capture how many air particles per some area, then they quantify, they measure, they calculate, then they know whether you have potentially have a certain kind of spore that you want. In Malaysia, yes, it's scary, I tell you, especially rice, even the oil palm, yeah, because Malaysia we are hot and humid, it's a very good environment for what? Fungus. Yes. That's why Malaysia we have a lot of fungus. Not like those cold country, those are cold and dry country. Seldom they have this kind of issue, but Malaysia want a lot of fungus. We have a lot of fungus issue. Okay. You can see our major crops, oil palm, paddy, all are those fungus issue. Durian, I think so, also fungus issue. Okay, then next will be the greenhouse gas. Okay, some concern whether do we release too much CS4 that contributing to this global warming. Okay, and also other parameters. Right. Right, let's go for the. How about the actors? Right, actors. Okay, like air. Okay, let's say the air is not good ventilation. What you do is we have a fan to drive the ventilation. Okay, then we have the lights. Okay, all right. So especially indoor, you need to put LEDs, no choice. Okay, or you may put the artificial sunlight. Oh, but that one expensive lah. That one piece of light is 25,000 ringgit. Okay, not cheap. Okay. Right. Space usually we don't do anything. We calculate. Warmth usually is fan heater. Water usually we use pump. All right. And also you can use waft. If your water on top, then you use waft lor. If your water is at the bottom, you use pump. It depends how you design lah. Nutrients, okay, if those liquid one we use pump, and we may use servo motor to drive further, okay, for nutrients. Like pellet one, those pellet solid one, not water one, we use servo to control. Okay, all right. Okay, now especially outdoor, okay, we do put pesticides. Okay, pesticide is a general term lah, general term. But if you go specifically that there are certain specific terms for specific purpose. Okay, because if today you go out to the shops, you say I want pesticide, you just give you pesticide lor. That is for pets only. But you have a weeds problem, you cannot solve. Okay, so for weeds, they have a specific one, we call it herbicide from the word herby. Okay, that's called weeds, 杂草. Understand? Insecticide, this is for 昆虫. Okay, insecticide. Then fungus. Okay, we have something called fungicide. That is to, I won't say kill fungus that is to slow down the fungus growth lah. Okay, all right. Then how about rats issue? Rats poison. Many plantation got rats poison one. Just that we don't know. Okay, that's called rodenticide. Okay, all right. So that is for rats because rats poison lah. We also have, we may not have so much slugs in Europe country. We have a lot of slugs. Okay, but Malaysia we have a lot of snails. Okay, Same category lah, huh? Those really girly one, fragile one, those are under this category lah, huh? They call it what module sites. Okay, that is for those slugs, snails. Okay, all right. And they have another one called parasite. This one very tiny one I cannot see lah usually. That's called nematicide. And sometimes we have mites, ticks attack. What we call it, what 跳蚤类的 that types. That is called acaricide. Okay, right. Now, apart from all these kind of pesticides, we sometimes also, I mean, the farmers sometimes also use something called growth regulators. You may not hear this term. Growth regulators is they won't kill the pests, but they slow down the growth of the pests. Okay, that's called growth regulators. They control the pests. They don't let it die. I mean, they just don't want it to breed so fast. Okay, something like that or cannot grow so fast. The other one is called repellent. Repellent is to avoid like you put a mosquito repellent. Do you kill the mosquito? No, right? You don't kill mosquito, don't die. But just like you fly away from you. That's called repellent. Sometimes they do put repellent. They don't kill the pets, but they just don't want the pets to come nearby. Okay, all right. So that's called pesticides. Right. Now come back to IoT. How do we put all this together? Now, just so we know the sensor, actor, and the module. And all these module, you need to somehow, you see, we are human. That's how we talk about nature, computer, human. Human are with mobile phone. So if your data reach mobile phone, that's considered you reach human. Can I say this way? Okay, right. Now, when you have your sensor, okay, your sensor, your actor, okay, your data all go to the sync node. There has a central aggregation point 一个中央的. So you go to the middle one, okay, the sync node. Sync node will connect to the internet. Either they connect to Wi-Fi, or they may have dongle 4G, 5G dongle that connect to cellular network. Previously, internet and cellular network are separate, but now anything that you go in internet, anything that you go in cellular network is considered you go into the internet. Okay, all right. That means I can access them through the web, or I can access them through mobile app. Okay, that is the simplest illustration of the whole IoT system. Okay, including the cloud will be here and the mobile app will be here. Okay, clear? Okay, right. Now you may put some architecture diagram, in your proposal when you talk about technology, how your technology all linked together, how you should receive at the human side. I mean, you can have this, but again, don't copy paste my diagram, Okay, that's called plagiarize, Okay, right. Now, let's see this is a block diagram. Let's see something more visualized. Okay, now example, you have this one I use Raspberry Pi. Yours one maybe you use microbits. Okay, right. Raspberry Pi, I have a sensor actor. This is considered as a sensor. Then this you have an actor. This actually relay control. Let's say valve or pump. They wire inside this Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi Wi-Fi connect to service provider and go to the internet. Okay, in internet we have specific server we call it broker, MQTT broker. So this broker actually is a message broker that relay whatever that you send to this channel, it will relay to your mobile phone. There are a lot of public broker that you can use for testing. Okay, testing and prototype competition, but not for commercial use. Right. So there are a lot that you can use to demonstrate your idea, demonstrate your features. Okay, then from mobile phone, then you can receive those data and you can also send back those data and come to your so-called microbits or Arduino. Possible. Okay, right. Now, if you think that I don't want to use MQTT, I want to use something more challenging, like Telegram. Can or not? Can. Okay. Right. I have another workshop for other competition. I do train students on this way also. Okay, it's possible. You can use Telegram. Because you can receive a notification, you can control to Telegram. Those are possible. Okay, right? As long as it's technology that you link to the phone. Okay, all right. Can. Okay, because we say that when your data go to phone, that means human receive already. Okay, good. That's the concept. Right, now let me give you an example. Okay, we talk about paddy. You know what's paddy? Rice. Rice. In Chinese, we have this called 谁知盘中餐，粒粒艰辛苦. Got it? Who knows the what every grain of rice on the plate? So it's the result of hard work. You agree or not? Some say 对不对的 I go Lotus there buy. Okay, so it's so convenient. That is at your end. Let's see the behind all this thing. Right. Okay, let's talk about this one. Now, actually Malaysia, like what I show you just now, you see, Malaysia, we all the rice that in Malaysia, uh only only if we consume all, that is only cover, that's only to fill up the stomach of 70% of people. Okay, let's see this way. We still need to import 30% of rice to fill up all the stomach in Malaysia. Understand or not? Okay. So that's why this happen is because averagely Malaysia rice only per hectare. Later I'll tell you how big is hectare. A hectare of them can only produce 3 to 4 tons only, our yield or so-called production actually is quite low. Okay. Malaysia, we set a policy. That means, you know what? We have something called food security lah. Why food security? You say, let's say one day lah, let's say there's a war. Okay. Hopefully not lah. I try. Okay. Right. Let's say there's a war. How do you make sure your people enough to feed? You must have a self-consume lah. Self-consumption should be 100%. So that's why in order to have enough food for us, Malaysia, we have a rice policy to say that we want to achieve 8 tons per hectare. Okay, that's our target lah. Right. Now, average now is 3 to 4. Now, you may ask me to the go, betul ke? That low that number. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, now, this one is from FAO. FAO. Let's see from year 2014, 2015, 2016. Okay, you can even go previous one, but I only query the past 10 years data that I have. Okay, right. So I download on 31st May 2025, and they show us the data until 2023. Malaysia case. This Malaysia case. Right, yield per hectare per hectare, kg per hectare. You see, just this one is ton per hectare. So it means divide by 1000. So Malaysia, you see, 2024, 4.6 ton per hectare. So then 4.0, 3.9, 3.7, 3.7, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 3.5, 3.5. You see, our production is somewhere around 3 to 4 tons per hectare. Okay, all right. That's why we don't have enough to feed all the stomach in Malaysia. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's why this is a good topic. Okay, I saw one of your land is this what Batang Bujuntai. Now it's called Bestari Jaya. You check that geographically, that piece of land can plant quite many things. Got fruits and also rice. It's near to Skinjang there. Okay, Skinjang, Sungai Burong, all these are rice fields somewhere around there. Okay, all right. Now you go and see. Okay, now let's say we go for rice. Example, I'm not saying that you must plant rice. All right. Now, let's say how rice come. First, you need to have the seed the seed. Before you plant the seed, you need to prepare the land. Okay, where paddy is plant? Paddy plant where? Flower pot. Sure or not? No lah. Is you need to have a land. Usually, what kind of land? Is a muddy. We call it 粘土，软绵绵的粘土. Okay, they put water lah, they make it very muddy. Then after that, what happens if you have the land? Then only you put the seed. Then after it grow. Then there's a stage that it grow very fast. Okay, you see, paddy and lalang. You know what is lalang? Lalang 草. I mean the wild grass 野草来的. Okay, barley and lalang very similar. Okay. You must know how to differentiate which is lalang, which is paddy lah. Right. So the rice will grow until a stage that you start to see seeds. Flower already got seeds. Then it turn to yellow color. Then turn to brown color. That's where you harvest. Okay. So this is the whole cycle of a paddy. Okay. All right. And usually we plant in open field. It needs a lot of sunlight. Okay. All right. Now, at different stage, okay, at different growth stage, it will attract different kind of pests to come and different concern. Okay, now let's say at this, now I'll just show you one. This is at the about to have flowering stage. The consumption of water is high, that means still need a lot of water. Birds is medium, low is those rodents, I mean rats, insect disease. But if you go until the harvest stage, different case already. Birds will be high priority because birds will come. Birds will come and attack. Okay, right? So this is at the why. Why water is high? Because this is the milking stage when you start to have flower, you start to have seed, and you need to have a lot of water to build the milk of the rice. That's why you need water. That time you say don't give water, then die lah. Okay. So at a different stage, there's a different consideration or different concern that you need to know. Okay, right. Let me see you. I mean, let you see a view lah. This is very nice, right? This is a paddy field. Okay, this farmer actually is very, very good. That's why you can see his one very flat, very nice. Okay, this is a view of 2.4 hectare. I will show you how big is 2.4 hectare. Okay, you see until the very far is the Yuzhong, the oil palm. Until the where I stand and captured the view lah. This is a paddy field. This is in Chuicha, Langkap, Perak. Okay, right. Not Skinjang. Okay, now when you talk about rice, must have water. Why? Because it needs a lot of water, okay? And it's in the middle of the field, no water, it will dry up very fast, okay? Now, it need a lot of water. Now, the water, hey, you was thinking how the water here? Every day carry water, pour there, I cannot lah, okay? There's a water come in and out, okay? How do I know where is in, where is out? The higher one should be water in, then the farmer will do a small gate there, allow the water to come in, flood the plant, and then after that, if they think too much, they open up another drain to drain it out. Okay, so that's how they control the water. So the coming one is like this. You see, there's a wall, okay, or there's a blocker, okay, right? That block all the water, and this will be a bit higher one. The water will go higher, see, higher level one. Then drainage usually is wider, 比较阔, okay, and usually is very low. That is called drainage lah. Okay, don't jump inside, dangerous. Okay, this one will go to river one, no joke. Okay, alright. This one is there's a gate control. Okay, we call it 闸. That's why they call it 水闸. Okay, the gate. Okay, they have a irrigation system. Okay, this one the water who control? Is controlled by government. Okay, controlled by state government. Okay, they will announce when water will come in. That is the timing that you have to plant. You don't plant, sorry, they close the water, then you die already. Not then you have to carry water every day to pour it there. Okay, right? So they usually you will see a few they plant it more or less at the same time, and they harvest more or less at the same time. There are a few reasons why they do so. Okay, all right. You cannot go by your own pattern one. Because this is my land, I suka. January I plant, March I plant also can, I December plant also can. Cannot. Okay. Everyone has to be more or less together one. Okay, because the water only go in at certain period. Okay. Right. The government only open for they'll give notice to you. They'll tell you when the water will go in, when they will stop the water. They will let you know one. If you don't want to follow, then you carry your own water lah. Okay, right. Okay. Now, in addition to that, actually, rice actually got a lot of pests, fungus, insects. Okay, let's see here. Because I told you already, Malaysia weather is hot and humid. That's why a lot of pest disease like to come on. Okay. First of all, golden snail. Okay. Now this one, golden snail. 那个金蜗牛. This one cannot eat lah. Okay. Cannot eat lah. Okay. Right. I cannot eat one. Okay, right. You see all these what white pinky color eggs. This is actually very bad. We should spoil it. Okay. Right. Now, this Jingmo actually is not eating. You see, when you see the rice, the paddy here, they are here. Actually, it's not harmful already. This golden snail is harmful when you start to do seeding. Okay, when you start to do seeding, that means when you put the seed 那个稻米对不对？稻米尖尖的嘛，对不对？The seed got two sharp edge， 对不对？你看过稻米吗？看稻米它有两个尖尖的，the sharp. Usually the one side you will go, we call it 龅牙, you will start to grow the shoot, the small shoot. Okay, when they go to small shoot, that is where the 金蜗牛, this golden snail like to come and attack. They like to eat this type of very young, juicy plant. Okay, small plant. Okay, they will attack. Pop. That means your plant die or not? Not yet die. Okay, one side damage, but you still have another side. 还有一个小尾端，对不对？ Got another edge. It will grow another one there. If the other side also your golden snail go and eat, then the whole seed, sorry, die already. Okay, that means one seed has 50% of chance. That means one gone, you still have another one. Another chance also gone, that means sorry, no more. You only have two chances. Okay. That's why during the seeding time, they usually put chemical to kill all these kind of snails. No choice, no choice. Because you going or else you put how many seed also they eat all they only eat the seed, but they eat the shoot, okay, the small shoot. Okay, all right, that's called jingmo. The other one is called rice blast. This is a fungus lah. This rice blast we call it 刀日病. This is the one that see, this is my hand Alright, so I snap for you. See, this fungus is not growing outside, it's growing inside. It block the, you see, in order to have the milk, this is the milk the rice, the milk. There's a supply from bottom to here. When there's a fungus, they block in the middle. Alright, they block in the middle. 它卡在那个 stem 的中间那边. When it block, so whole branch die 啦，整串死完。你看，你 see here whole branch 整串是干的，里面有稻米 but actually is empty， 里面空空的，没有奶的，它只有坑，它的那个壳罢了。This is the one they got. They still have the fruits, so called the milk inside. This is called 稻热病. Can be very damaging one. You see here, when you kena this fungus let's say rice blast 稻热病你的损失是50 to 70%很恐怖的like this 你看干到完了，right 糟糕了这边 OK right now then the other one is called booms. This is kind of insect 啦有一种小虫OK alright 不要管它 hairy worms 毛虫无蝶虫 OK then rats right 有米一定有那个小鸟 then you have the what the birds and the rats that's why they put rats poison okay alright common they have the weeds 杂草 weeds weeds 没有I don't have weeds but weeds you know weeds and then you have the padi angin padi angin is rice but we call it as a weeds let me show you what this is in Malaysia a very strange one we call it padi angin. Padi angin is like this you see the rest are all rice. This is also a rice you know okay this is called weeds 这个是草 this is called weeds OK 这个很明显你看到这个是不跟他们一样的 but this one is not weeds this is the 跟这个稻米一样的 but this rice is growing higher one we call it mutant you can call it mutant padi angin you can call it mutant okay X-Men okay mutant so this mutant rice it go a bit higher what you need to do actually is you need to cut it manually and don't let the seed drop inside there 不可以掉回去 okay but it's drop inside next round 它会再长回来它会跟你 compete he will going to compete the nutrient of the normal one so this padi angin can be very scary because I tell you why because 这个 padi angin 你没有机会吃到它 you have no chance to eat one because it will come out very tall very fast and after that you will get ripened very fast and then 它会掉回来 you're going to drop so what is the purpose 一粒你都拿不到 right so it's going to disturb your existing rice that's why they very scared you can read the article called padi angin in Malaysia it's quite serious there was a time okay right so these are the potential tricks okay for the Malaysia rice okay all right and this is because of what this is because wind issue you see planting the rice there's one trick that you need to plant it in a very flat way you cannot plant like some of your paddy go a bit higher, some go a bit lower. Because when the winds blow, 刮大风的时候，高的就会倒。你看 you see all this, when it 倒的时候是 all will come up, all like that. Okay, you are lucky if after a while the plant can stand back, but you are lucky the plant will just stand forever like this. Then you lost you lost maybe 10% or maybe 20%. Okay, this is due to uneven structure. Or wind right okay now how we count 1.2 hectare this is 2.4 right I show you this is 2.4 okay they divide in this way wait see okay they divide in this way okay you see here this is the paddy field okay let's say this is the so-called the 1.2 hectare. Okay, the whole 2.4 hectare is here. From here to here, this is called 2.4 hectare. They cut half is called 1.2 hectare. 1.2 hectare means is 60 meter times 200 meter. So you get 12000 meter square. That is equivalent to 1.2 hectare. 2.4 hectare is 24000 meter square. That is called 2.4 hectare. Okay, so they subplot. Okay, 1.2 hectare, they still even cut further, become 600 times 100 okay, all right. That's two subplot, become 1.2 hectare. That's how they divide mathematically. Okay, right. But to be honest, I did ask the farmer lah. Do you really so particular follow this kind of so called the measurement lah? Actually, they say no need one lah. You want to divide into four also can from 2.4 hectare. You want to divide into three also can. Up to you one. You go and decide lah. Okay. Not necessarily like mati or die. You have to follow this measurement. These are ideal measurement only lah. Huh? But of course, there are some few at the very edge one, very tepi one. All these maybe slightly more or slightly less. It can happen one because age already at the tepi one. Okay, now rice field can be very big. Can be very, very big. You may thought that I going oil palm field, I will lost. You going paddy field also deep inside, you may also get lost. Okay. A very big one, Malaysia paddy field. So okay, now how I use technology lah. This is back in many years ago. Okay, fine. So I have this, you see this pillar, I put a pillar here. Actually, I put many pillars, just show you one. Then I put here humidity and temperature sensor. What did I measure here? I'm actually measuring the humidity and temperature because I want to tell the farmer that sometimes you don't need to put so many pesticides. Okay, right? Sometimes it's okay, you need to put one. Okay, so that's why I'm putting some measurement here lah. So here actually is a solar panel. Inside there's my microcontroller board, everything there lah, batteries, all these things. And this actually run for few months without changing battery. There's a double battery now, huh? So if I go collect data, I will use this antenna, very big one. I point at them, then I'll collect data lah, remotely. Okay. Of course, lately I have a base station. Then the data will go to the base station and go to the 4G, and then I can get it from the cloud. Okay. All right. Now something like this, So there's a solar panel. This is a base station. Data go to the base station and then go to the cloud. And then after that, I have a 4G phone that receive from there lah. Okay. All right. So this is when you have the technology to support, then easier lah. Right. Now, what is the okay when you put the placement, all right? I don't think you need to know. You need to put so detail in your technical detail in your proposal lah, but no harm to just as a knowledge lah. Right? You need to know that actually, those device communicate through wireless. When you have a wireless, right, you need to know that plants actually going to block your antenna. You're going to block your signal, okay? Because the leaves actually can absorb the signal. Yeah, no joke one. I can tell you. If you deploy sensor in oil palm, I tell you, you have no signal. I tell you, it will absorb all the signal here. The leaves will absorb the signal. So you must make sure that your antenna is a bit higher, okay, so that it can go on top of your field. All right. So I mean, many years ago, I can see here this is 2011. I mean, 10 years plus already. So I carry a measurement here. You can see that one sensor to one sensor apart is around 20 meter. 20 meter, you get a good signal. After 20 meter, you say all the signal all lost already. Okay. All right. Now this is how the design also I have to plan very carefully that this is 1.2 hectare, 1.2 hectare. I need to put how many sensor to monitor. All right. I have to monitor. And therefore I have to put some camera lah, so that in case someone steal the notes. Okay. All right. Then yeah, there's now a lot of times you will hear Malaysia already have lah. We have something called sprayer. Okay. Drones. They use drone to do spraying. Okay. Traditionally, like here you put these pesticides. You need human to go there. We need to see the wind direction. Okay. But now no need already. A lot of them use sprayer. But of course, for paddy, not so popular yet. But for like oil palm, that one they use a lot of sprayer. Okay, recently. So those are the technology that can help you, okay, to improve your yield. Right. Now, let's come to some budgeting before I release you for a short break. Okay, we start from 2:30, right? 2:30 until okay, right, almost 1.5 hours. Okay, right. I cover this part, then after that I let you do some exercise. Right. Let's see here. Now, let's say I interested to plant paddy in this Bestari Jaya. Okay, Batang Berjuntai example. Example only. Alright, so the land first, you need to consider you have 10 million. Okay, of course you need to see how you want to buy. Okay. First, let's say I want to buy a land or you want to rent a land. You need to have this in your proposal, whether the land you're going to buy or you're going to rent. Sometimes you think buy not worth. Okay, so I rent. Fine, also can. Then next thing is how much manpower I need. Don't tell me that you one person, no need farmer. I use all robots. Then the next thing is your robot also a manpower, right? Yeah. how much you invest on your robot, and one robot is how much. Okay, right. So if you talk about the recent one, the robot, the China one called what? Uni 3G1. H1 also going to release soon. That one robot, easily one robot costs you 16,000 USD. 100,000 per robot. Okay, right? All right. So that one also your manpower, you need to include that. Okay, right. Next thing is, what kind of seed are you going to buy? Okay, like paddy, we use MR. Example, whether you want 219 or 220 or other kind of variants that you want. You must specify the seed, okay, the speed spec that you are putting in. Next thing, what kind of machinery that you need? Okay, do you need a harvester? Do you need a blower? Do you need a planter or what? Okay, all right. So what kind of fertilizer that you need? How many taps that you want? How many bottles they want to put? How many rounds or how many times that you want to put per cycle, planting cycle? Then pesticide, what kind of pesticide that you want? Is it only pesticide, herbicide, fungicide, insecticide? Okay, right. Then next thing is, do you want to put enhancer or not? Enhancer is what? You put enzyme. Some of them say, because you put pesticide, it's very harmful to the earth. I want to neutralize it. I want some uh, good living microbes. Okay, whatsoever lah. Then you put an enzyme. Okay, you put enzyme. Human also drink enzyme lah, but different enzyme lah. Okay, for plants. Okay, you may put microbes. Okay, we also eat microbes. Sometimes we drink what 益生菌, probiotic, prebiotic, whatsoever lah. So plants also, yeah, you can put microbes. Okay, I put yes, enhancer lah. Some say no, I put ducks. Ducks better, more natural mah. All right. So there's a growing. They put what? Fish, ducks, and paddy field. In Vietnam they have this practice. Are you going to do that also? Or some of them they say I put crabs. Okay, because fish no good. Okay, crabs better. Okay, more value. 螃蟹. Okay, all right. So it depends. Those add in as an enhancer. Then harvest. How much is the selling price? 1 ton is how much? All right, when you harvest, you need to have a good estimation on your plant. You cannot suka just put a number there. Okay, right? And be careful when you use ChatGPT. I know you're allowed to use ChatGPT or some generative AI. I tell you, sometimes AI can, not to say they over bluff lah. Okay, they sometimes will give you something that may not reasonable. It's because sometimes I hope you understand AI lah. Sometimes AI will go in a stage we call it hallucination. Hallucination. You only know this term? In Chinese we call 发白日梦，明白吗？ Like humans sometimes you also do daydreaming or 发白日梦 AI will have this also. AI 也会发呆的。When the AI 发呆, you know what happen? Okay, they go in a state called hallucination now. They will start to generate you a lot of very funny thing. You don't know how true is it. Okay, so whatever things that you get from your generative AI, make sure you verify. Make sure you verify whether is it correct or not. Okay, those are the figures. Then when you use technology, you need to consider how many sensors they want to put, what kind of sensor they want to put, how kind of sensor, what kind of parameters they want to collect. Okay, how do you going to control? Are you going to control the education system, that system, that system? What kind of platform that you're going to put? Are you going to involve cloud? Cloud, there's a subscription. How big is the storage? Okay, and are you going to use 4G, 5G? Those are paid line. How much you have to pay per month? Okay, then you need to have the apps. Are you going to ask someone to develop apps for you, or are you going to use some apps actually like MQTT? You just query from MQTT because the data is not a lot. Now all these you should inside your proposal. We want to see this. Okay, right. I give you. I'm going to give you a break, and I give you like 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. 10 to 15. 10 to 15. 10 to 15 minutes. Now it's for. Okay, we come back for 20 lah. We come back for 20. I leave this exercise with you. Okay, this exercise is like this. Now, after you going through all this example, my question to you is, let's say, whether planting paddy in Batang Berjuntai profitable? Okay, profitable. This is a question that you want to answer. Example, all right. So I list out this for you as a guide. Then you tell me whether it's profitable or not. Should I go for paddy or should I go for other crops? Let's say I want the area that I want is Batang Berjuntai, so-called the Bestari Jaya. Whether should I plant paddy there? Okay, right. So you see here, let's say I assume that I rent. I don't want to buy 20,000. Okay, per 5 years contract example for 2.4 hectare. One plot, one or two plots. Then planting season, Malaysia can only plant 1 year 2 times. There was a time Malaysia go for 3 times, but after that they say no, cannot. We are stressing the land. The land cannot recover. Okay, so they still go for 2 times. Then one planting is 108 days. How much manpower do you need? Let's say this one is small land. I don't need. I just one person. Okay, right. Then how many seed I want to buy? Maybe per meter square is only 4 seed. So I have 24,000 meter square. I need 9,600 seeds, raw seeds to plant it. 1 kilo got 40,000 seeds. So you need 3 kilo. 1 kilo you need is 1.4 ringgit. Yeah, it's like 5 ringgit lah, okay? Not a big money, don't worry, can eat all. Okay. Right, then machine. Do you need to have rotor tiller? Do you need to have planter, blower, sprayer, harvester? Do you need this or not? Okay, I can tell you, traditional farmer, they don't use planter. You know what planter? Planter means you plant, then you have a machine that do transplanting. Malaysia don't usually do transplanting. We do blower. We put all the seed and we like a machine gun, like M16, like that one. We blow it. Okay. We spray it lah. Okay. We don't call spray, we call it blower. Okay. Rototiller we may need because this one is they usually put in water on the soil and they actually, we call it fan tool. Or they mix the soil, they kacau the soil. Okay, usually these two are unique lah. Sprayer, I would say no need lah, unless usually you outsource to other people to do, unless you want to buy your own sprayer to spray your own pesticides. There are people doing that. And you no need harvester because Malaysia, let's say rice, different crops, different consideration. Rice no need harvester because you will usually hire Bernas, they have agent, they come and collect from you. Okay, right? You sell to them usually, Malaysia one. So let's say fertilizer, you use 500 ringgit per planting. Okay, you may wondering, wow, need so much money one fertilizer. Yeah. This is considered quite cheap. There are some more expensive one. Okay, right. Pesticide 200 per time, and planting time you may need to spray 6 times. It depends. Okay. You may wondering that what kind of pesticide that we spray. Okay, I'll show you. Like before you go to break. 哎呀呀，给你看到答案了，不好玩了。Okay, right. So this is the pesticide that we put lah, usually lah, last time lah. So this is the fungicide. 这个是 fungicide. Okay, class 2. This is the sorry. This is pesticide, right? This is pesticide. This is the fungicide. This is a fungicide. I mean start up. This is fungicide for fungus. This is the pesticide also. Pesticides. This is ulat. This is the pesticides. This is also a pesticide. This is also kind of ulat pengorek. Okay, right. This is also the mauchong. This is also pesticide. You can see here many bottles. I will tell you, actually they spray more than this. Okay, all right. Now you can see all these what class 1, class 2, class 3. What is this? This actually are this one. Class 2, beracun. Class 3, bahaya. Class 4, this is usually our house, the 杀虫药. Okay, you buy bygone, reset all here. 毒不毒? Yeah, poison. Okay, so all these even very poison, very poison. Okay, do we have class 1 in paddy field? Yes. Just now I mentioned about what rat's poison. Rat's poison are under class 1. Rat's poison very is sangat berbisa. You eat then you die. Okay, alright. So no joke. So these are the so-called the pesticides that you put in. Do you put enhancer? If you want to grow it better, you have to put enhancer put 2 times per planting. Whether you want to use technology or not, for this farmer, he have experienced farmer, he don't want. Then outcome, let's say, assume this is a very experienced farmer. He plant 10 times. I mean, he received 10 tons per hectare. Okay, right. So you got 2.4 hectare, you got 24 tons per harvest. Am I right? So 1 ton, let's say, is 1,500. This is according to current Malaysia price. Right. Last time even lesser. Last time is like 500, 600. Okay, right. And government subsidy is around 187 ringgit point something. Now better. Now government give better subsidy already. Okay, right. So your raw income will be 1,500 times 24 tons. Per planting, you receive 36,000 for 2.4 hectare. So I want you to calculate the profit. Okay, I'll give you a break, 10 minutes. You calculate me the profit, then let's discuss the answer. Okay, so I'll give you a break of 10 minutes. We come back, and after that, you type in the chat box whether profitable or not I plant paddy in, let's say, a land called Batang Bujuntai. Okay, all right. All right, welcome back. All right, interesting. I saw some answer. Okay, well, quite some of you actually really go and calculate, and even some use ChatGPT to say that there are other plants which are more profitable. Yes, okay. Now I do agree that we can always find other plant which are more profitable. But let's stick on this question. I'm talking about paddy first. Let's analyze this one. Paddy, is it worth or not? Okay, right. Some said yes. Some said anyone say no? So far, no, no. Okay, right. Okay, let me show you. I won't say that mine is standard answer, but I just show you. You can reuse it as a reference when come to your proposal. Okay, all right. So how usually we calculate now? This one I based on. Okay, how I get this figure actually is I based on last time when I do research. Uh, there's a farmer. Actually, he's a very experienced farmer. But he don't use robot lah. Okay, he don't use any ICT lah. Right. So if we just based on this one, whether is it profitable? The answer is okay. Let's say per planting. Okay, this is per planting. Now, as I say that 1 year you plant 2 times. 1 year plant 2 times. That means this is one time planting. That means half of the year. Another half is another 36,000. Assume lah, nothing happened. Okay, all right. You follow this concept. Then in that case, I'll get 72,000 per year. Okay, right. Now we don't talk about that. We talk about per planting first. Per planting, how much profit that I'm going to get. Okay, so I need to minus out a few things. First, I minus out my rental. Still remember my rental? Okay, how much I pay for my rental? 5 years, I sign a contract, I pay 20,000. All right, so I rent. So that means 1 year, my rental is 4,000. 1 year. Half year is 2,000. So I need to minus 2,000 for my land rental first. Then I need to minus out the water. Like what I say, government give you water. It's not for free, no. It's not for free. Water need money one. Okay? There's a bill. Right? The government will bill you one. You have to pay. You have to pay. There's a bill. Let's say 200. Let's say I do not know what is the current price. But let's say it's 200. Then machinery, you invest in some machine. Blower, you cannot run away. Blower, you have to buy. Rototiller, the one you have to buy. No choice. Okay, there are some machinery lah. Unless you say I want to use Sanko. Okay lah, then your machinery cost is lower lah. Okay, right? Then well, I assume that let's say there's 500 lah. Assume right. Fertilizer expensive. Like what I say, fertilizer is per planting. Okay, it's 500. Oh, I'm sorry. This one I write wrongly. This one should be I need 3 times. Okay, this should be per time. Per time, that means 3 times per planting fertilizer. Okay, assume that this is 1,500 lah. All right, 500 I think not enough. Now fertilizer so expensive already. Okay, right? Because okay, see, you can put 500, but the problem is you won't get 10 times. I'm talking about 10 times. I mean 10 tons of output. What is our normal? Just now we discussed. Normal planting average is 3 to 4 tons. Now I'm talking about at least double up. Okay, the national target is 8 tons. I'm talking about 10 tons. That means this is very experienced. You need to boost more. Okay, so fertilizer we cannot run away. Okay, pesticides, yes, this is the cost. All right, and enhancer you need. Okay, 2 times example. In that case, let's say per planting I minus all my expenses out. So I'll get 30,200. That means per month divide by 6 half of the year. So is how many? 5,000 per month. 5,000 per month. Is it profitable? Yes or no? The answer is yes. 1 month is like 1 month your salary. Now I minus all my expenses already. The only thing I not minus is my manpower because I manage the farm. So that means I'm getting salary of 5,000 per month by planting paddy. Okay, by planting paddy, paddy field. Okay, by planting the paddy field. Okay, 2.4 hectare. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's good profit, right? Okay, now, again, if you are just planting 2.4 hectare, it's just enough for you to cover your expenses only. Okay, now, our target here is we need to make it as a business model. Now, I have checked with those farmer. Okay, those farmer who want to earn more, usually they won't plant 2.4 hectare. They'll go 24 hectare. But how they do that? They rent. They rent the because there are some farmer actually they are not planting. They rent out their field. They collect money because they collect money. Let's say every month I'm collecting like a few hundred. Okay, enough. Okay, right. I have plenty of land. Okay, right. Maybe they at that time they buy very cheap. Okay, so now they just rent it out. Okay, right. So some just correct rental. So you can rent from them. Okay. Those commercial one they go by at least 24 hectares. So if you times this figure by 10, okay, of course you need to minus some expenses, but there are some expenses can be shared. In that case, you really going to make a good profit. Okay? Am I give you a good hint? Okay, yeah? Understand, huh? All right. So by just 2.4 is just enough for you to self-consume. Okay, because your salary is around 5,000 per month. Okay lah, reasonable lah. All right. And because that's your hard work, okay? You work under the sun. Okay. So that's your profit lah. Right. Now again, this is provided you get 10 tons. Imagine that beginning we talk about 3 to 4 tons. Assume that if you are 4 tons, how much you are earning? You are not going to get 5,000. You're going to get how much? You're going to get only 0.4 of this value. So that means you potentially going to get around 2,000 plus a bit only if your outcome is 3 to 4 times. That's why you need technology to come in. This one not yet talk about technology. This one is the farmer, experienced farmer. Of course, with the technology, I'm talking about if you're junior farmer, you have the technology, you definitely can go better. I did check how much they can go. Those good one can go up to, like just now I show you, Okay, where is it? Okay, to be honest, this outcome, they are actually getting 12 point something tons per hectare. Okay, this is the real figure. Okay, alright. Okay, so that means with the technology, you really can get that much. You can boost until 15 to 15 tons. It's possible, provided you do it correctly. Okay, right, do it correctly lah. Of course, we're not talking about some disaster coming out. That one another separate story lah. Okay, all right. So it's possible, it's profitable if you plant paddy. Okay, all right. Now let's see the next plant. Okay, now see. Uh, this is I just bring back some of the paddy and I no place to plant it. Okay, at first I just want to throw it lah because this one when I was helping to remove the weeds, I actually remove one plant and then I bring it back. I plant on flower pot and then I noticed that it grow. Okay, yes, it did grow. That means there's a chance that paddy can plant indoor. Okay, later we talk about indoor. Okay, right. Now let's talk about second example outdoor. Okay, oil palm. Good money, yeah. Yes, good money. Very good money. Okay, you see here, percentage of the land area is getting bigger, 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 bigger. But oil palm has its own problem. The schedule again, you see, this is a fungus issue. This is a fungus called Ganoderma. You can say this is kind of 灵芝, but this 灵芝 cannot eat one. No value one. Right? This is actually a poison mushroom, cannot eat one. Okay, right. So this is the Ganoderma. It's very scary. It will cause, you see, the plant become like this. Cool away and die. Okay, all right. Now, how they do actually is they do monitoring lah. You see, the idea actually is if your plant is strong, actually it can against all kind of diseases. Only if your plant is weak, then anything can come in. I think like human body, like if you are strong, actually you don't need to scare a lot of even bacteria viruses is okay. But if you are weak, all kind of bacteria also will come to you. Okay, right? So that's why to make sure the plant is healthy is very important. That's why this is one of the example lah. Like they put LoRa-1 technology and then they monitor using NPK, soil NPK. Okay, so for oil palm, the requirement of K is very high. That's why a lot of these oil palm fertilizer have to be specially customized because to have a high K. But again, to have the K high is expensive. So that how they adjust for the fertilizer, that one you can check more information. Now, how they do actually is assume this is NPK sensor NPK is not three probes. I checked already. The NPK should be this one. The correct one should be 5 probes. This is the type. Okay, you can go to this website and see. These are the NPK, pH, EC, temperature, and humidity sensor. 7-in-1 sensor probes. This is one piece is around 500 to 700 ringgit per sensor. Okay, so you wire using this RS485. There's a module converter. Then only go in your so-called Arduino your microbeads, Raspberry Pi. This is just a display lah. Right. So this is how they do the wiring. Okay. All right. To monitor this oil pump. Okay. Oil pump is not like paddy. Oil pump one harvest maybe 5 years. You invest 5 years later only you see the value, you know. Okay. All right. Paddy is more faster. You see immediate. Okay. You see the immediate effect. Okay, all right. Can I buy Arduino in Shopee? Yes, you can buy in Shopee, but I encourage you to buy at uh Citron. You go Citron buy better. Because Shopee sometimes those you know who are the seller lah. They just simply sell one. Sometimes they sell you fake product. Or you buy in Citron. Another one is called Autobotics. These two are more trustable supplier. Okay, yeah. You can Google Autobotics. Autobotic, Autobotics. Citron is Cytron, Citron. You can go Citron and buy. Okay, these two are more trustable vendor lah. Okay, all right. And okay, so let's go further. Okay, now let's say if given the oil pump, can you do a budgeting? Okay, so I give you a guide already, yeah. All right. Okay, how about Raspberry Pi? Yes, Raspberry you can buy from them also. Yeah. Okay, but more expensive lah. Raspberry Pi now is Pi 5, but the one can run AI lah. But I mean, you no need to pay until that because one piece of Raspberry Pi 5 is around 400 to 500 ringgit. Quite expensive. Okay, it depends on your requirement. Pi 4 can do image processing. Pi 5 can do AI. If you want just a normal IoT, you can buy 3B plus cheaper, 200 plus a little bit. Okay, right? Yes, you can buy from. Don't buy. I don't like to buy from Shopee because sometimes Shopee they give you fake product. Okay, all right. So they don't give you something genuine. So you buy from Citron or Autobotics better. Those are more trustable seller. Or you have other seller which is more trustable one. Okay, better. Okay, right. So I do leave it as a homework lah. Right. So I still have 1 hour to go. Okay, so let me cover a few more slides. Okay, now example 3, durian. Is durian profitable? Okay, right. Now, there's once, okay, I would say durian used to be not so popular in the world. Only Malaysia very popular. Okay, it's because most of the Malaysian like, because of course there are some Malaysian don't like durian also. Okay, like my family members they don't like durian, so pity me, I'm the one that eating durian. Okay, now, okay, until when Malaysian durian become so famous is because of this species called Musang King. Why Musang King? Because Mao Sang Wang. Why Mao Sang Wang? Because I think there are a few reasons. You see, most of okay, in Malaysia we have variety of durian. Some durian actually is the taste was very hard to be accepted, especially for non-Malaysian. Okay, but this Musang King is widely acceptable. Is because first is sweet, 是甜的 sweet. Okay, and second, the smell. There's certain smell that too strong that some people don't like. This one is not so strong. And Musang King, if let's say like there's a kids, I assume kids, they just started to eat durian. They are widely more acceptable eating Musang King. That's why Musang King is more sellable in the whole world, especially the market in China. I tell you how big is the market. The whole, let's say we're talking about whole Malaysia Musang King durian, not going to eat by Malaysian or sell to China, still not enough to feed one province. Okay, you understand or not? OK，所有马来西亚的榴莲、木山 King 全部直接出口不要吃，全部去到中国，都还不足够能够装一个省，明白吗？你想象一下，中国有几个省？You see how big is the market? OK of durian. OK，来。So under this Belt and Road policy of China, so exportation of this durian to China, starting from 1.1 million up to 18.02 million. This is old figure. New figure one even higher already, much higher already. Okay, that's why until China people also invest to come out their own these durian. Okay, right. So they also try to plant their own durian. Okay, in somewhere around 海南那一带 because they want more tropical weather. Okay, right. Okay, right. So let's see. This durian, I think you know lah, no need me to show you. Okay, so in Malaysia, okay, the durian have a lot of labelings and species. Of course, different Malaysian like different kind of species. Some like XO, some like D24, some like Musang King, some like Blackthorn, some like what Hong Ha, Red Pond, whatsoever lah. Okay, right. Many time, okay. All right. So to Malaysian, okay, the most nice one is not Musang King, is what Blackthorn. This one Blackthorn, Hak Chi, they call 黑刺. This one 1 kilo can go to 70 ringgit. This one is 路边 one, the roadside one. Okay, so if you buy durian 20 kilo, so 1 kilo is how much? 70 ringgit. That means that durian, how much? That durian is cost you 1,400 ringgit. Yeah, it can be that way, okay? Can be that expensive, And this is just the Malaysian price, you know. You know, Blackthorn, the commercial price is how much, you know? 1 kilo is 200 ringgit. So good money, okay? So you can see whether you want to put durian into your proposal or not, okay? Do you have place in Pahang? Where is it? Cameron, Pontian and Batang Berjuntai. Okay. I don't know which land that you want to put durian. Okay, you go and think lah. Okay. Yeah, if I see Pahang, I'll put durian. Okay, but Cameron, I need to think twice. Okay, right. Okay, right. Okay, so for you to refer lah, But durian, I have one research lah, I'm not talking about how to increase the productivity of durian, but I'm seeing from another angle that how I can save durian. What we mean by save? Because durian got people steal because of the high money lah. Same like oil palm lah. So we put new durian net. Okay. So again, when I put the net, right, it doesn't mean that I can prevent theft. At least I can tell where are the theft. Okay. So when I put the net, so I receive two signal lor. This is the signal where the natural durian drop. Okay, durian drop like this. So this is what signal leh? This is when the people come here, see the durian, they don't cut. They usually don't cut the net. Okay, what happened actually is they push the durian out, push, push, push. You see all this high vibration is the push. They push until the last push. Oh, then the durian come out. Okay, then they take the durian and run away lah. So from there, I can tell that potentially which are the parts that always the theft come in. Okay, right. Then I can do more preventive lah. Okay, all right. So well, sometimes technology may not just directly help to improve the nutrient whatsoever. Sometimes it can be as a side support. It depends how you put into your paperwork lah. But if we're talking about outdoor monitoring, always we need to suffer for two big issues. Okay, that's why this one you have to highlight in your proposal. First, where's the power? Paddy field, where's the power? I have to tap from solar, no choice. If you talk about oil palm durian, orchard, how I'm going to get the power? Put power cable. Okay, right? It may not make sense, right? So if I use solar also, the leaf will all covered because you won't put the solar that high unless you purposely build a solar panel to be very high. So how you solve the solar issue? The next one, how you solve the network issue? Like paddy field, you still can have network, but you go inside the oil palm and the durian. Okay, durian okay lah, sometimes you still get signal, but some oil palm plantation no signal one. Okay, then how are you going to fetch your data, go to the internet? So these are the two big headache areas we need to solve. Okay, when it comes to outdoor situation. Okay, so if you use technology, you need to solve these two issues. Okay, as well. Okay, talk about greenhouse. Okay, so this is one of the farm in Cameron, not yet reach Cameron, somewhere in the half hill. If you go from Simpang Pulai to Cameron, okay, somewhere around half hill there, you will see a farm. It is one mountain, but you cannot go in. There's a police block there. You cannot go in unless special permission. Okay. There's a big farm at the back. It's called Agro-Digital. Okay, they have a website. You can go to this site and see. Now you can say that most of the time in Cameron you can just plant. Okay, but they plant most of these vegetables in greenhouse. Not only that, they use hydro. You can see here they use hydroponics. And why? Okay, first, they build the greenhouse because first, too much sunlight sometimes. Okay, especially in Malaysia. Okay, you over burn the leaves. Okay. Another one is too much rain sometimes. When it rain heavily. Okay. The other one is they build greenhouse, they close it is because we have too many friends. Okay, we have too many pets and insects coming. The morning we have our own Usually morning you have butterfly, and then the night you have another kind of, we don't call it butterfly lah. There's another kind of pets will come in, and insects will come in. Okay, right. And they use hydroponics because they can control the nutrients, and they can also control the weeds much better. If you just have a greenhouse, you don't do hydroponics, the issue is first is you have the controlling of the nutrient issue because you based on soil. You need to get the right soil. Okay. In another farm in Cameron, usually what they do, those are organic one. How they do actually is they mix their own soil. Okay, they not to say mix lah, they call it what they fermented, we call it 发酵. Okay, they have their not to say technology, they have their methods. They learn it from Japan. They 发酵 the 泥土. Okay, they fermented the soil only they use to plant, so it become organic. Okay, right. So here they avoid the soil because the soil is potentially captured a lot of disease also. That's why they use hydroponics. Okay, the only advantage they get here actually is the weather. The weather they no need to do so much more. But in lowland, you greenhouse usually we have another issue lah. Too hot. Later I'll show you one example. Okay, right. So this is how they control. Okay, right. Again, if you want to plant in, I know there's one question about Cameron. So if you want to plant vegetables in Camerons, you need to answer again. Go back to these six items. How is the ventilation? How is the air? How is the light? Okay. How is the space? How is the temperature? How is the water? And what kind of nutrients that you want to put? Different vegetables require different kind of nutrients. So you need to study very carefully. Not about NPK also got number one, 555, 10, 10, 10, 8, 10, 8, 10, 6, or whatsoever. There are a lot of number one, Okay. You must know all this numbering. If you talk about hydroponics like this one, okay, in general we say A, B lah. But how many A, how many B? What's the percentage of A, percentage of B for different type of vegetables? Even salad got a lot of types. Which type? Okay, so we're talking about details there. Okay, right? So I can tell you the valuable plants in Cameron, you can see lah. One is mushroom, another one is asparagus. These are two that you can consider lah. But again, this is not model answer lah. I just give you as my personal opinion only lah. Now, okay, if you talk about lowland greenhouse, this is lowland greenhouse. Okay, this one is in Utah. We plant ginger. Just like I say, ginger is below 50%. Okay, right? Self-sufficient. So we plant ginger lah. This one is a special species ginger we call buntung ginger, buntung jiang. Okay, right? Let's see here. We plant in vertical way. You can see some rack here, vertical compartment. This is a greenhouse. Okay, we plant greenhouse. But the problem is greenhouse in lowland is what? Okay, very hot, very hot. This temperature can go up to 40 daytime. That's going to kill the plant. Okay, because ginger don't like hot temperature. No, too hot. Okay, right. So we put net. We put the black net. You can see there's a black net. This is to bring down the sunlight. Also bring down the heat lah. Okay, all right. So we put. Then these are ginger. We start to plant. Yeah, yesterday I went there. It actually grow bigger lah, but I didn't capture a photo lah. You can see we have rack there. After that, we're going to put it inside. Okay. Now we have a ventilation. We did put a fan. Okay, the fan already installed. Okay, because as what I say that highland you no need to put exhaust. Highland greenhouse no need. Lowland you need because lowland is so warm. You need ventilation, or else your plant will die. Okay, unless you plant durian. No point. I plant durian in greenhouse also very funny. Okay, right? Okay, okay, now let's see. So how about the water irrigation system? Yes, we have. Okay, you can see there's a big tanky here. This one the water we pull from our lake. Pull from our lake. We have a lakes. We pull the water there, and then we go in. There are 4 mixer here. We will mix A, B, C, D, whatsoever. We're going to mix. Then only we go into the plants. Okay. There's a mixer. Okay. This machine not cheap. This machine itself already cost 60,000. Okay, right? Yes. Okay. All technology is price. Okay, but don't worry. You have 10 million, right, in your proposal. So see how you're going to use that. Okay, right. So that's why your budgeting should cover all this infrastructure as well. If you want to do vertical farming, okay, or greenhouse. Greenhouse also quite expensive. This kind of greenhouse. One compartment easily costs you minimum 50,000. A small type. I think 100 meter times 25 or 30 meter. Yes, that already costs you 50,000 per compartment. Okay, right? It's also quite costly. Huh? Right? So you need to consider all this in, right? And come to your budgeting. Again, go back to this checklist. Okay, like what I say, air for highland, no worry because the air is so cold. So you run vegetables, no issue. But if it's lowland, you want to put greenhouse, you need to consider ventilation. Okay, light. Okay, if you go vertical, definitely you need to have additional LED because those at the bottom one definitely not enough sunlight. Okay, upper one okay, lower one not good. Space, are you going to use vertical or a normal way, right? And then how is the temperature? How is the water? How is the nutrient? So always go back to these six. For greenhouse and indoor, you consider six. For outdoor, you consider how many? Seven. Because outdoor you need to consider pest disease and also weeds. For indoor, usually less concern. I'm not saying no concern, but less concern. Okay, all right. Now, just like I mentioned, AB. What is AB? This is one of the I mean, AB is a general liquid fertilizer. Different company have different definition on A. Different company have different definition on B. Example, this is one of the Malaysia produced kind of AB fertilizer from City Farm My. I think some of you heard this before, right? Their A is consists of N and CaO. That's called A. Their B consists of NPK. Okay, I don't know why the NPK put at B lah. There are some APK they put in A. Then others they put in B, like magnesium, zinc, all this they put in B. But this company they shape in this way. Okay, their B is P2O5K2OMGOSO3 whatsoever, how all they put as a B. So you need to have a mixture between how many A and how many B before you use. Okay, all right. So that's called AB fertilizer. Usually it's liquid, not the pellet type. Okay, now let's talk about indoor. Okay, uh, you'll find very funny why Malaysia we need to do indoor. You know indoor? Okay, indoor means you build in building. You see, greenhouse is purposely we built for plants. No one going to stay in greenhouse, am I right? Okay. Building is for human to stay. But we're going to convert it for plants to stay. Why? Okay, now you can say one is because abandoned area. Okay, if I can find that area, many abandoned houses, good. Because I can rent very low cost. They have a structure, then I can plant quite many things inside. Yes, that's good. That's a good consideration. Second one, a lot of car park unused. I can use this for indoor farming. Okay, especially I plant some very, very odd and high value crops. I can plant it there. Okay, yeah, you can go for this kind of thinking. Okay, right. You can also purposely build building just for indoor farming. Yes, can. Why not? Okay, right. But again, I don't know Malaysia regulation permitted or not lah. Okay, right. Because usually your building finish, you need to go through one process called CF. You need to certify before you can move in. But this one is for plant. I'm not sure how they approve the CF lah. Right. So this indoor, okay, we talk about general indoor. Okay. First, I think Malaysia we also need to consider it because first Malaysia, although we have a good weather, but that is a very unstable weather because we have hot and humid sunlight. Like you see now, hot is very very hot. Okay, when it's wet, that means it's raining. It's really rain heavily. Okay, it's very extreme sometimes. So we potentially capture a lot of disease. That's why indoor will give us a good control on this kind of disease issue. Okay, right, and that can also cut down a lot of using the pesticide. In Malaysia, yes, we use a lot of pesticide to be honest, and all this can be cut down. Okay, provided there's a good control. Okay, so greenhouse and indoor going to help a lot for this case. Okay, all right. Now, but there's a technical difficulties. Oh. First of all, indoor, the first thing you face is what? The air issue or air circulation issue. Second, you have a lighting issue because no sunlight. You need to use artificial lighting. Then after that, you have control temperature. Okay, then water, nutrient, all these things will come in later. All right, so I give you a sample here. This is in office. We plant something. Okay. Let's say I have enclosure of 4x2x2 layers. Small one. Very small only. Okay. Why I use this is because some studies say that 4x2x2 is enough to feed 2 person if we fully load the frame. Okay, right. In fact, this the concept actually is, imagine if you in a condominium, right? You can have a frame of 4 by 2 by 2. You can plant all sorts of vegetables there for your own self daily consumption. Enough already. Okay, right? We'll just do a kickstart only lah. Just try and there. So we build our own LED, but now you can buy LED already. You can buy a better one, okay? Because red and blue, there's certain spectrum that for photosynthesis. Then there's a temperature control. You need to ensure the humidity is below 60%. Why? Fungus. Okay, as I tell you, Malaysia a lot of fungus, right? Malaysia a lot of fungus. So if your humidity go higher 70%, chances you're going to have fungus is high. Okay, right. Then you have ventilation and this one I learned from one of the plant expert. Plant need to exercise. Huh? Why plant need to exercise? Now outdoor you have no concern because outdoor got wind. Indoor got wind or not? No wind. So your plant will grow. After that, you become very fragile. Okay, you touch a bit, then you just fall down, jatuh already. Okay, very very lembek. Your plant very lembek one because there's no wind. So we need to create a fan to blow it, create artificial wind. Then it becomes stronger. Okay, right? Yeah, this one is really I learned it from one of the plant experts. So then we have the water control system. Okay, right? Water, I mean the irrigation system. Now you can use hydroponics, but if you want to plant more different types of crops, you better use soil. Okay, soil and we use some organic fertilizer lah. All right, and we also put microbes in. Okay, because indoor usually when microbes will die, we have to keep putting. Of course, cost will be high lah. Depends how you justify. Now, just to show you lah. So we have some framework like this. Okay, right? And you can see this is office. Office is cold. Too cold, too cold. Okay, so we put heater. Okay, we have a heater, and this is the LED. All right, we have a sensor here. We have the okay. You see this box? We have the microcontroller board all there lah. Huh? All right. Now let's see. So we have an exhaust fan. This is the LED lah. This one we build ourselves one, but now you can buy. Because last time no choice not many suppliers, so we have to build our own one. So now you can buy. Okay, you can buy. Okay, and then we have a sensor here. This is a heater. And we have a software to do control fan 1, fan 2, fan 3, fan 4. And these are temperature and humidity that we monitor. Okay, what do we plant inside? This is what? This is rice. Okay, and this is you see, what you see purple is because of the combination of red and blue LED lah, combined. So you get purple. Okay, all right. Now, it can grow one. The next thing you were wondering, sure or not, doctor? Are you joking to us? This rice seed already can grow one. Can grow one. Okay, you see water. This rice. Okay, right. It did grow. It did grow. Okay, it did grow. This one are vegetables. Okay, it grow. Okay, all right. It's growing. We get the seed, can harvest. Just that the amount is not comparable with the outside lah. Okay, because it is much lesser. Maybe we still not yet know how to optimize the nutrient. Okay, right? Because indoor one. Then it did grow. I tell you, it did grow. Okay, yeah, it's grow. Okay, these vegetables it's also growing. Okay, and outcome. Okay, you see vegetables. This is choy sum. Okay, all right. This is bok choy, and this is bayam. It's growing. It's growing. Okay, right. So this is our first trial lah, But again, we not yet master the fertilizer very well. Okay, right. Once we master, then the subsequent few times we do actually is the leaves actually grow much better because we know how to monitor. Especially, I can tell you is monitor the easiest one for you to monitor is monitor the EC value. EC sensor is cheap. And you just need that to tell you a very good estimation. You no need to use until NPK because NPK is so expensive. One NPK is 500 to 700 ringgit. One EC just cost you like 5 to I think 20 ringgit can get already. All right. So you can easily wire and you just get EC value. That is good enough for you to quantify that how much nutrient for your plant. It's good enough already. Okay. All right. Now, these are the just some graphs to show you whether the plant go well or not. You can see that the plant actually are growing. Okay, but of course still not optimized until the best lah. And on average, you can see that we monitor how we control the average of the monitor. So you can see different plants, they have slightly different requirement not to say a lot lah. Okay, right? Like how much humidity that they want, the temperature that they want, the light that they want, and also the soil, roughly the soil, the value that they want. Okay, all right. And then again, always go back to the checklist. Okay, always go back to checklist. So what kind of circulation they need, what kind of light they need, especially indoor greenhouse. Uh, how is the estimation of the space, and then how is the temperature, how is the water, and then how is the nutrient, especially indoor. The nutrient you really have to spend time, okay, to go and uh study very very well. Okay, right. My suggestion to you is don't just blindly ask ChatGPT or generative AI. So as I tell you that sometimes AI will go into a state called daydreaming, or we call it hallucination. When you go in hallucination, that will tell you to tell a lot of a very funny story, and you trust that story, you put into the proposal, then for the expert, like me has been quite many years in this field, we read, we know already. This one you just blindly copy from ChatGPT. Okay, that's not good. So I hope to see more technical content in your proposal. All right, and always follow. I mean, I give you these six items for you to check lah. Of course, outdoor will be it lah. Outdoor you need to add another pest disease and also the weeds. Okay, all right. So yeah, I cover until here. I think you may have questions. Maybe I use this opportunity to answer also Q&A if you have any question that you want to ask. Okay, I see the chat box that oh, okay, some of you already buy microbits from Shopee. Yeah, okay. So you're lucky lah, you get the good vendor lah, huh? But sometimes you don't know because Shopee, you don't know who are the supplier behind. Sometimes you don't know what are things that they sell you. Okay. Yeah. But better go for a trustable supplier lah. Okay, all right. Yeah. Now open for Q&A. If any question that you want to ask. Any question? No. Okay, like I give you a little bit of hint. Okay, right. So, okay. When you first see the question, what you need to do actually is, like what I have mentioned, you need to see the three locations, okay? And after that, you need to check the topological, the nutrient there, and uh, based on the soil condition, weather, temperature, rainfall, all these things, then you start to see whether maybe some crops actually go very well with outdoor. Then in that case, you don't spend money for indoor, okay, and also for this greenhouse. But there are some areas that actually you have the environment, like you can see the scenario like Agroto, right? Right, that this one. Yeah. You see, they're in Cameron. Like, but why they do hydroponics? They no need to do it here. They can do it in KL. What they do in Cameron? Because the first of all, the if they do in KL, how much energy they need to use to install the ventilation system? Because lowland, okay, lowland actually is the you have ventilation issue. It's warm, hot and warm. But here actually is they don't have this issue. Okay, they don't need to go and do uphill because uphill they're going to have a lot of competition. So they go half hill. Okay, half hill still a lot of land. So they get a land there and then they start their business there lah. That's how they go. Okay, so you need to see that sometimes with the advantage of these area, then you can also put in okay your this greenhouse there, and then you start to build the technology that you want over there. Okay, all right. Okay, any questions? I actually expect questions rather than just keep talking and talking. Yeah, if no question, then yeah, can I pass back to the organizer?
Okay, can.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think they're very shy to ask question.
OK OK，谢谢我们的 Dr. Go。OK，if any question you can ask in the WhatsApp group 啊。OK，thanks again for today, Dr. Go, about the AgriTech. And we will recording this. We will send this recording to the official website. OK, thank you. See you tomorrow.
Oh, there's a question.
Yeah. OK OK
Maybe I answer
OK.
questions
Yeah
lah.
yeah yeah.
Yeah. At
OK.
least some want to ask question, they can stay and continue to ask question. We see a half an hour, right?
Yeah.
Can we bought a land already got crops? Okay, the answer is yes. Okay, now, but you have to do additional thing. Let's say lah, you identify a land. That land, let's say that land was planted with example previously was planted with example planted with oil palm. Let's say oil palm land, and you want to convert it to plant something else. Example, you want to convert it become you plant vegetables, and there's a kind of vegetables that you identify actually is very high value. Okay, now what you need to do is first you need to clear the land. You have no choice. You have to clear the land. Okay, now land clearing there's a cost. It depends what type of lands. I mean, what type of crops you really plant. Oil palm will be more costly because it's a big tree. Okay, they need to chop the tree and then help you to throw it. That's why the clearing is more expensive. If it's with trees previously, like a jungle also, the clearing actually is expensive. Okay, first you need to put the cost for buying a land. Second is the cost of clearing the land. These are the two costs you have to consider. Okay, now if the land was previously plant vegetables and you want to plant oil palm, is cheaper. It's because the land, the same area of price of land, okay, but the clearing fee is cheaper because to clear the vegetables is very straightforward. Okay, right? I can hire a few foreigners go there and pop, 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 then settle already. Okay, right? But if I will have to clear trees so that I can plant vegetables, that is very costly because we need to chop the tree, move the tree, and go up. Okay, now I can roughly give you an estimation now to clear one tree, let's say in taman okay, like to clear one tree, the cost is around 700 to 1,500 per tree. That is the price, okay, right? That's why that actually very costly. Of course, younger maybe cheaper lah, but they will still count per tree. You remove one tree is how much? Okay, all right. I hope that answer your question. Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, I see more questions. That's what I like. Okay, now next one. If I install IoT technology and enhancer, then can plan the budget. Yes, you need to put in. You need to put in your technological budget, IoT. Okay, IoT first. Okay, when you put in IoT budget, first you need to think what sensor that you want to put. Some sensors are very cheap. Example, if you just, like what I say, if you just want to measure light, just measure light, that LDR sensor is very cheap. It may just cost you 50 cents to maybe 2 ringgit per sensor. But if you want to measure photosynthesis, same, also a light, but it gives you different output. That sensor can cost you, easily can cost you 300 to maybe 700 per sensor. Okay, right. So you need to put in budget. Now, enhancer is optional. Enhancer optional because, okay, enhancer is like this. Like what I say, enhancer is enzyme, microbes, all right? So they use enhancer. Now, I give you one very interesting scenario. Example, durian, example. There was a durian orchard farmer in Penang, all right? He has a farm that he identified that he don't put fertilizer for the durian. We know for durian also need to put fertilizer, but some of them don't put one, okay? But those good one they will put. There is one that piece of land they identify that they don't put fertilizer, they put microbes. They get it from some company and they put the microbes. They just put microbes, they don't put fertilizer. And then come out the output of the durian was so nice. Okay. So that is an enhancer. Sometimes you put enhancer, you don't need to put fertilizer. But sometimes you need to put fertilizer plus enhancer. That's why you need to see the plant type. There are some plant type you need to put both. There are some plant is you just put one, either one. So to me, enhancer is optional. Optional. Okay. Now, I can share with you like in Kedah case. Let's say I give you one Kedah case. The paddy, they put less pesticide, they put only 3 times. Not like those kinjang, they put maybe 6 to 9 times. Right. So the 3 times one, they add with enhancer. They put 3 times enhancer. Then output very good already. Okay. That one I know is because is another big company. I don't plan to disclose this, but actually is a real case that they put enhancer plus fertilizer plus pesticide. They use less pesticide, normal fertilizer, and add a little bit of enhancer. That output become better. And that product, the rice actually go export to European country. As you know, European country, they want toxin level to be 0. They want it to be not detected until that level. Right. Not say low volume, they want it to be not detected. Okay, so it depends your study and how you do adjustment. Okay, all right. Okay, I hope I answer your question. Okay, next one. What plant are easy to plant and get what? Get most profit? Okay. Okay. I tell you a joke. When I start to ask my student to do this hydroponic farming, okay, all right. So my student asked me, Dr. Goh, which is the most easiest plant to plant? You know what are the answer that I give to him? I say tauge. Tauge is the easiest one, and usually it won't die. Okay. That's where my students start. Okay. Right. Second one is I tell the student kangkong. Okay. Kangkong also can grow very easily. Okay. If you talk about easy, I can tell you. I mean, I will answer you the same thing lah. Tauge and kangkong lah. But again, if you talk about profitable, these two are not really profitable. Now, tauge maybe yes. Tauge maybe yes. Okay. Some good tauge like Ipoh, okay, the tauge can become very expensive. Those tauge actually very, very fat and very short one. Those tauge actually very, very expensive, okay? All right. And those tauge, if you use for Japanese restaurant, yes, that one is profitable, okay? Now, kangkong, unless you need to know where is the market, unless you can plant a good kangkong and you can sell it to five-star hotel, then maybe yes. Okay, you have a profitable kangkong, okay, or else kangkong will be very normal lah. Okay, right. So I can say that different plant has their own challenges. So you need to see which plant. Okay, right. I can give you a hint like let's say Cameron commonly lah. When we talk about Cameron, we will talk about vegetables. Some of you thought of Jagong, but actually most of the Jagong in Cameron are not planted in Jagong. Are not planted in Cameron. Those Jagong they plant in lowland and they bring it to Cameron and they sell it. Your Jagong money is actually what even they say the what Zhenju Jagong. That one actually is not really planted in Cameron. They plant in lowland, then they bring it to Cameron and sell it there because there's a market in Cameron. Planting is somewhere. Okay, right. So sometimes the consideration are like this. If you talk about Bestari Jaya, the Batang Berjuntai, you can see that there's a fruit valley there. You need to check that fruit valley farm got what they plant. And also one side you can see the Ijo side. That side is the Skinjang, the Sungai Burong, all that there. That one is for paddy. So you need to see that which one is geographical area is suitable. If you talk about Pontian Johor, I'm not sure. Maybe you can eyeing at coffee. Okay, I know Johor got one coffee plant. They are planting this Liberica coffee, and another one is they plant nanas. Okay, pineapple. Okay, so you can also look into that. Okay, you can start from those existing one already there. Then after that, you see the soil condition, and you may see if based on this kind of condition, you can Google or you may ask how ChatGPT not going to give you nonsense. Okay, right? And you can check those other crops that may be suitable for this. Okay, now talking about generative AI, I would suggest that you don't use the free version. I'm not saying you must pay, but I see some issue with the free version. The O4 is the one that the 4.0 is the one that we are using. The one usually may not the GPT may not think so much of your query lah. I suggest that if I'm not saying that you must pay. You can try a better model like O3 and O4. That may give you a better result. Okay, but that one require you to pay lah. It's a paid version because O3 and O4 they go through more process before they return your query. Okay, right. I hope I give you a hint where to start lah. Okay, the scenario need thanks. Good question. Okay. Okay. Student, no one blocked you to buy an existing durian farm that already planted 5 years. Okay, so that means in next 5 years you're going to harvest and you do optimization from there. Okay, alright. Okay, think out of the box a bit. Okay, I'm not saying that you must always plant from zero. You can buy the existing one, but of course your cost will be higher because people already planted. All right, and you buy over there, so you need to pay more cost. But what is the subsequent work that you're going to do after you bought over this existing durian farm? Okay, all right. So this is a question you have to think lah. Okay, so what is the key performance? Hold on. What is the key performance indicator that would make my proposal optimum? Short period to recover my investment, or high return of investment, or most eco-friendly? This is a good question. I can't answer because your proposal going to be evaluated by different panels. Different panels, they will see different performance indicator that they want to see. So again, I can't comment on behalf of other panel lah, but from my point of view, if you're talking about an investment proposal, I think your topic is smart agriculture investment proposal, if I'm not mistaken, a strategy proposal. So when we talk about strategy in Chinese means 策略. So you need to highlight a few things lah. Okay, first is from business perspective, you have this amount of resources, and what is the expected outcome that I'm going to get? Okay, you need to somehow show some practical statistical analysis there. Second is, what is your methodology, or because we call 策略 strategy ma. All right, what is your strategy of investment? What is the strategy of your technology? Okay, what is the strategy of your management? Okay, you need to highlight, if possible, try to highlight in the proposal. All right, now whether you're eyeing at short period production, or should I eyeing at long period income kind of production? Example lah, let's say given vegetables and oil palm, where should I go? Should I go oil palm or should I go vegetables? Because vegetables I'm going to get regularly, maybe 1 year, because vegetable very short like 30 days to 45 days. I get 1 round already. No, I can make many rounds in a year. But oil palm I may only get 5 years, only get one, maybe 3 years get one. Okay, right. But which one is more worth? Again, I have no answer. You have to study. Again, it also depends back the specification of the plants that you choose. I'll say the choice of the plants that you choose. That also make a difference. Okay, all right. Whether eco-friendly is a consideration, that one I have no answer. Okay, right. What I'll suggest is you read back I think the organizer got come out the criteria. I mean the presentation guide and also the criteria of the evaluation. I think they have some lah. Okay. You can base on that lah. Okay, all right. I hope I answer your question. Okay, like oil palm ROI will increase over time. Okay, and the plant mature. Yes, you're right. Okay. Now, oil palm, okay, oil palm like this. When you, let's say like if you're starting from zero, you invest oil palm. The first few years you will get nothing one. You will keep throwing money only. Yeah, true. You keep throwing money because it's not like today you plant like vegetables, you plant, then 45 days you get a return. No, oil palm you need years. It take you years, okay? Minimum 3 years, 5 years, or even longer. So your ROI will come later. But once you have ROI, you see, oil palm, once you have your first batch of fruits matured and harvest, subsequently you have a continuation. That's why Malaysia will be willing to plant so much land is used for oil palm because they see the continuation. And usually they have a strategy, they divide. Let's say they have one piece, they won't plant one shot because one shot you finish, then you cut all, then you have no more. They will go by zone A, zone B, zone C, zone D. Understand not? That means 2 years I start with zone A, another 2 years I start with zone B, another years I start with zone C. Then you take time. By the time you chop some actually you can replanting, something like that. Okay, there's a rotation lah, huh? All right, that one you need to plan now. That's why I say management also very important lah. Okay, can I plant some crops meanwhile breeding some animal such as chicken to eat insects instead of using pesticide? Good question, good question. Uh, I'm sorry, student, I have no answer. From what I received, the message that I received from organizer, the target is crops, not animals lah. But whether let's say lah, my main is crops, my side my side support is animals. Whether this is allowable or not, again, I have no answer. You may post to your teacher and ask your teacher to raise in the teacher group lah. Okay, let the committee to discuss lah. Okay, right. Again, I have no answer on that. Okay, all right. But the main has to be crops lah. This is the definite answer lah to you. Okay, all right. Now, if I need to prevent animals, okay, invasive, the vegetable fruits can only use pesticide or have other way. Okay, interesting. Okay, now, okay, pesticides again. Pesticide is usually we use to control, like just now I presented lah. Rats, those insects, and maybe kind of birds or some kind of pets, some kind of worms, some kind of butterfly, those can like snails, slugs, all these can control. But if you're talking about animals like big one, monkey, cow, I don't think this one you can use pesticide to chase them away. They won't. Unless you put poison, they die. But that is not good. Okay, that one not right. That is very bad. Okay, ethically wrong. Okay, right. That one cannot, you cannot put in proposal. Now, the proper way to control, it depends animal, huh? Okay, if it's cow, it's easier. You can do fencing. Okay, you can put fencing. You need to check the regulation whether you're permitted to put some electricity, low voltage to just shock the animal. But again, you need to check the regulation whether it's permitted or not. That one I'm not sure. If you talk about monkey, there is more headache because monkey too smart. Okay. They have a ways to come in and damage your plants. Okay. By the way, monkey, the headache with monkey actually is monkey when they come in, they are not just eating. In fact, the one that they consume is less. Usually they play around with your plants. That is the harmful part. They damage your plants. They play with your vegetables. Okay, right? So that one you have to use something more smart lah. Okay. There are some technology that there's a technology that they detect birds, squirrel, monkey, and they create some pulse wave to shock them. Okay, but again, first you need to see the technology whether available or not. Second, you need to see whether regulation permit you to use that or not. They are those technology. Okay, all right. Huh? So if I would say that also animal easy to be chased away lah. Okay, like birds. Let's say in paddy field we can use some fake people to chase them away. Okay, but monkeys is the one that we always headache. Okay, because monkey is very smart. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. How I answer your question? Okay, can we carry out intercropping So we can plant two crops together. Intercropping. Okay, let me get this correctly. Okay, if you are talking about organic kind of intercropping, I think this should be allowable. Okay, the situation like this. Example, in Cameroon, there's kind of farmer that they plant the crops in some, okay, let's say they plant crops A, okay, in one area. Now, we know organic planting, you see organic planting, organic planting usually is a mixed up. They don't go homo. Okay, I mean, when we say homo means they go same species in one land. Because you go same species in one land, the risk is the chance for you to get disease is easy because you have same type all one So when you have disease, usually that will be wiped off. Very scary one. So but conventional they allow because they spray pesticide they can control the disease. For organic, you cannot use. You cannot pesticide one. People will complain you because you plant organic. Now the only way is you need to interplant some things that can counter certain pests. Example, they plant pumpkins, and somewhere in the middle they plant chili because chili can chase away certain pests. If you talk about this kind of context, I think it's allowable, but you have to state clearly that you are going for organic roots and you have some intercropping, maybe two or three types grow together. That the function of those crops are as a supportive to chase away, other than giving some minor outputs, but also chase away the certain pests, okay, so that they don't come and to protect the main crops. I think in this context should be allowable. Okay, because that will help you to cut short your pesticides money. That should be allowable. Okay, if you're talking about this context, all right. Okay, cash crop for cash flow or prevent erosion or landslides. I don't get what is your main point. Maybe can you rephrase in the way that I can understand better your context? Ha. Okay, sorry, this one I can't understand. Cash crops for cash flow or prevent erosion or landslides. I think our target is not I think we should make assumption that some very big disaster won't happen in these 5 years. Because if this come into consideration, I don't think we can plan anything. For example, suddenly got earthquake, then how? Everything also don't have. Okay. Suddenly, you don't know, Malaysia got big tornado. I think that one shouldn't come in place. If this come in place, then I don't think we can do much. Okay. Right. I think that should be a exception case. Okay. But again, I don't quite understand your question, but you can, if you, I appreciate if you can rephrase so that I can help you to answer better. Okay. Right. How farmer can create the mutated plant? Oh, like milk corn. Are they harmful? Okay, good question. Okay, let me tell you something, Okay, I have no answer about the corn. If you talk about the corn, we call it jagung susu. I think you mean jagung susu, the white color one, the jagung susu. I think there are a few type of jagung in Malaysia. One is the yellow one. One is the jagung susu, the more mild yellow and sweet one. There's another one is got color one, got red color. Got what? Sorry, red color. The susu also got, the yellow also got. That one very colorful one. That one also got. Another type is all the red color one. That one also got. That one I planted before. Now, are these considered as mutated plant? I have no definition on this one Okay. Because I do not know. To be honest, I do not know what technology that they use. Maybe yes or maybe no. But again, I have no answer But from what I know, if you read back the history of corn, if you read back the history of corn, actually, jagung is considered a non-original plant. Okay, put it this way. Quite majority of soya, quite majority of corn actually are already modified. Okay, right. If you read back the history, But again, your definition, it depends how you define your so-called the definition of mutated until what level lah. Okay. But I can share with you. Before MCO, I went to New Zealand. I visit this kiwi. You know kiwi? Kiwi plant kiwi industry. You know New Zealand, there is a very national level, very grand exporter of kiwi. We know there's a green kiwi in the market. And after that, we see a yellow kiwi. We call it gold kiwi from Jasper lah, this company. And after that, we see another type. We call it red kiwi, or they call it rainbow kiwi. Got red color one. Many people say that actually yellow kiwi and red kiwi are considered genetically modified. Okay, now I asked them when I was in Jasper, I asked them these questions. Is your yellow and red kiwi is considered a genetically modified kiwi? Because Jasper, they are producing organic kiwi. How come you have gold and pinky kiwi? That's not acceptable, right? Okay, they answer in this way. Okay, now we go back to the history of kiwi. Kiwi actually is a wild fruit. 它是一种野果. Okay, and kiwi started where? Not New Zealand. New Zealand no kiwi one at that time. New Zealand it was somewhere in different country lah. Okay, right? I'm not sure whether is it China or not. Okay, like it's a kind of wild fruits. Then after that, they somehow plant it, and when someone bring it to New Zealand, because of the soil is very volcanic soil, and the kiwi grows so well there. And then they start to look into commercial value and how to have a big scale planting this kiwi. Then they come up with different methods. All right. So of course, the original one is green kiwi. So how is the yellow one? Now, in fact, the yellow one at that time already existed. Just that no much people know. Okay. And the pink kiwi, actually, it was already there also in this world. Just that no many people know. So we may thought, because we have not seen, so we thought that that actually is genetically modified. In fact, it's no. Is that species is already there. Just that it was not really brought into the commercial world and widely grew it. Okay, right. So again, I do not know about this jagung susu, okay, also called milk corn, but it may be jagung susu maybe already variants that already there. Or originally maybe it was already there, just that not many people know. And recently maybe people only because of commercial value, then people plant it a lot. Okay, so we need to go back to history and check lah, rather than I just answer in this way. Okay, all right. Okay, I hope I answered your question now, huh? Okay, now go back to just now, there's a question that I don't quite understand. Okay, now I have more details. So actually, when you plant oil plant seeding on hillside, instead of covering the topsoil, okay, before they mature the topsoil, they are exposed during the heavy rain, okay, topsoil gets carried away, get flushed away to the slope. Okay, instead of covering with plastic sheet appropriate in between the oil palm seeding and so on. Oh, okay, I kind of like understand. Okay. Uh, okay, understand. Okay, they are okay. There are two way. Okay, okay. You are talking about the covering the plastic. Okay, there are a few reasons why people do that. First is to prevent the landsliding, because the rain, like what you say, you rain and you wash away the soil. Okay, so when you wash away the soil, so that potentially can create a landslides. Okay, especially those slopes kind of plantation. You're right. That's one reason. Second reason is they want to prevent the topsoil to be washed away, because topsoil actually is very nutritious to plants. If your topsoil all wash away, then all the nutrient no more. Even you don't have landslide issue, but your how to say, the nutrients all gone already, all go down to somewhere. That's why you want to save the topsoil. You're right. There's another way why they cover with plastic sheet is they want to prevent weeds. Else you're going to spend a lot of money on herbicide, killing all the weeds. Okay. So there's another reason why they cover with plastic. They want to get away with the weeds. Or else you spend too much money for the weeds, and also very toxic lah. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, good. All right, any more questions? Well, I do appreciate questions. Yeah, I mean that show that actually you I can see you already start planning what you want. That's why you really come out some details thought that and you have doubt and then you ask. Yeah, we can you can share it and we can discuss. Yeah, yeah, it's good. I do appreciate all the questions. Thank you so much. Any more questions? No more, ah? Still got. Okay, good. If natural disaster occurred, the government will give some money and become okay. Eh, uh, okay. Very interesting questions lah, huh? If there's a disaster happen, so government will give money and then to farmer, then I become rich already. That's a bonus. I think in this proposal I don't think you should take in the disaster as a consideration lah, huh? Because you can't plan for disaster lah. Okay, put it this way. Okay, right. So we don't include that in our proposal. Okay, we don't put in consideration. Now, talking about the real situation, let's say disaster happen, right? Will government give some compensation to you? You need to see what disaster. If you talk about the incident in the gas station one, the gas piping happened one recently somewhere in the Selangor there. That one government did give some compensation, but again, usually they won't give you equal compensation. Okay, it will be lesser lah. Oh, it's like you buy your car insurance, same one. Let's say you have accident happen. Of course, one is depends how much that you buy, but usually they won't pay you the equal amount of compensation. Usually will be a bit lesser lah. You still need to bear some of the loss. Okay, even for some disaster happen or even accident happen lah. Oh, okay, right. So that's come to the real world lah. Okay, right. But again, you don't put it into the proposal lah because you can plan for disaster. Okay, right. Okay, any more question? There's another question. Okay. A question, do we need to do a deep research about soil condition reading through the study and get know the history of the land may use before any pollution happen? Okay. Now, okay, what I mean here is like this. Let's say let's talk about the land. Example, you talk about uh, this Batang Berjuntai example, Batang Berjuntai. This West study Jaya. So when you study the usually what kind of soil, what kind of combination soil there? Is it more red soil or more black soil or whatsoever soil there in general first lah. Then you study usually what are the existing crops already planted in that area. Okay. And from there you can roughly know what are the possible plants to plant there. Okay. So that is what I mean by the soil condition study. I don't mean that you need to study whether there's any factory there actually get explode before and then some contamination happen on that land. Well, I think in general we may not go until that level lah. Because there are some incident maybe happened before in certain area, but actually we didn't know. It's hardly to know. Okay, especially there are some area maybe already last time they used to produce rare earth. We don't know. We really don't know. So I think you have to study the soil condition geographically, but I don't think you need to go down until whether there is some pollution history happened in that particular area before. Because we can't really study until that level lah. Okay, right? Okay, yeah. If that already happened, let's say touch wood lah. Certain area already contaminated and it happened in the question, so that one we need to go back to the panel how they want to consider. Okay, right? Maybe the question got error. Okay, right? Give me a land that cannot use all polluted already. Okay, right? So that's why we don't go until the history of that land pollution level. No, we don't go until that level. Okay, all right. I hope I answer your question. Okay, because Batang bottom type is EV mining area. So I found a few study that there's a heavy metal. Oh, okay, X mining land. Okay, okay, understand your concern. So, okay, put it this way lah. Mining land, it depends. Some mining land has heavy metal, but some mining may not have heavy metal. But usually, mining land have one characteristics. The Earth radiation is slightly higher. That's a real fact. Okay, for those mining area, the radiation, the Earth radiation, because Earth got radiation one, the natural Earth radiation reading, if you measured, will be a bit higher. Slightly higher, I won't say very high lah. Unless again, unless that area memang already last time used for rare earth, that one or maybe radioactive, that one we don't know, okay? That one will be memang very high, But if we talk about general lah, the X mining land will be slightly higher radiation. But again, you do not need to put that into a consideration because nothing much you can do. Okay, okay, nothing much you can do. Okay, all right. Because I don't think you can do something that counter the radiation. I don't think you can. Earth radiation is a natural radiation that come from the ground. You can't do much. It's not like the what Wi-Fi radiation. The one you can do something lah. But Earth radiation you can't do much. So that's why we don't put that into consideration. Okay, right? So but the geographical of land geographical and these the soil conditions you have to study. Unless do it this way, you think the whole Batang Berjuntai really not suitable for planting, but the question say you must plant there no matter how. Then you go alternative lah. You go indoor lor. You go indoor farming lor. If you think this is your consideration lah. Okay, if you think, but of course, I think you need to state your justification why. Okay, maybe from research you think the radiation value or maybe heavy metal pollution value is too high. So no matter what you plant on the ground, you'll be contaminated. But you need to do it very carefully lah, Okay, I share with you one more, We talk about paddy, Okay, now, those pesticides that we use, actually they create, they have a side heavy metal we call arsenic. Arsenic actually is kind of poison to human, paddy did absorb it, yes. But there's a research file that actually it doesn't appear on the paddy, the milk, no, okay, right. The you know the paddy, the rice, the milk, the white color one. We noticed that actually the heavy metal doesn't go inside there. But the heavy metal was found on the rice husk. That means the heavy metal did go to the plant, but never stick on the fruits. It stick on the skin of the fruits. So that means because we are not eating the rice husk, am I right? We're eating the fruits. That's why it's still safe at this level. So that's why you need to do a study. First, what type of heavy metal and whether that heavy metal really go inside the fruits. If it go inside the vegetables, then nothing much can be do because we eat the leaf, okay, right? So it still depends that which part the heavy metal will go there. Okay, even it get absorbed, but even it get absorbed, but it doesn't mean that it's harmful to humans. Sometimes it may not because it didn't go inside the fruit, Okay, right? Okay, I hope I answer your questions. Okay, any more? Yeah, very interesting, very interesting. Okay, I hope no more lah, right? We already reached 5:40, almost there. I pass to the organizer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Goh. Very nice for the QA section. Okay, today the workshop too. Until now lah. Okay, thanks for all. Thank you.